Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Never Sleeps. I'm Cameron. With me always is Jared. What's up, Jared? How are you doing, bud?
Hey,
So, guys, it is No Sleep Month. You know it, baby.
the best month of the year.
The best month. So, guys, throughout the entire month of October, we discuss the spooky, the surreal, the paranormal, the crazy, the wild. And today is no different. Today is season 2, part 2 of No Sleep Month. So, Jared, what will we be diving into today, my guy?
This is a new one for us. We're going to be diving into specifically the science behind the search for the paranormal. Proof of speaking with the other side. When did it start? How does it work? What exactly is going on? Let's talk about this and see if we can figure this stuff out.
I love it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of spooky stuff, a lot of cool stuff coming up. So guys, stay tuned. We do have chapters. So if you do want to jump ahead to anything, it'll be anything you find interesting in the chapters. Just look down and it's right there, baby. And we got a lot of cool stories, a lot of scary videos we're going to be watching today.
That's true.
So yeah, you want to roll it? Roll the intro, get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. And it's the new intro for
Spooky
for No Sleep Month, baby. Let's get it. No Sleep Month.
It's back, baby.
It's back. And
Sleep Month is back.
it sounds like something I would make up. It really does.
A ghost, a ghoul, a goblin, a monster, a werewolf.
That of the spooky, the surreal, the paranormal, the scary.
Yeah, now the kid's looking at it.
We got some fun stuff planned today. We got some goods. Ooh, very scary stuff. No Sleep Month is back, baby. And it is back and better than ever. So, again, all spooky topics, all scary stuff. We got so many cool videos we got to show you. And we're also going to talk about maybe some Marvel stuff. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover this episode.
If you like this kind of stuff, if you like these topics, please like button, share the video. Remember, comments. We want to hear from you.
Good call.
In the chat, we're live. This is really interactive because we're talking the paranormal. We want to hear what you guys think. What are the explanations behind some of this weird stuff we're going to watch?
Yeah.
So tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we got a bunch of cool stuff to cover. Speaking of live chats, Jared, what did Chase just say in the live chat here?
I think that in the future, I'll be saying, remember people thought the paranormal was dead, ghosts or demons, and we'll have figured out that's the science behind it, and we'll know exactly
what and why
what it is and why it happens.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
At some point, of course, we'll figure this out. I think the paranormal goes back to the very nature of our reality. There is a tie-in there, and that's really what I want to discuss when we go through this stuff today. Is what is this? Like, what is really happening?
Yeah. As the title says, speaking to the dead. So I got, we got some Ouija boards, videos. We got a bunch of scary videos. Actually, Jared, do you know the genesis of the Ouija board?
I know that it spun up, I think in China around 1100 AD was like the first known spirit board, if you will, where the spirits would write. I think that's how they did it. The spirits would actually write them.
So many cultures had different, iterations of what you would call a Ouija board.
Yeah, I know the Western Ouija boards more mid 19th century, 1800s is where it exploded.
So it's actually way more modern. The Ouija board, as we know it, Ouija board and whatever, it actually in 1890 is when it started getting mass produced.
Yeah.
In like 1886, I believe, is when it was created, and it was created in Baltimore, and it was created in the East Coast of the United States. And I
think there were some like cults in Ohio using something similar in like 1830s.
So yeah, there's always been stuff around, similar to it, but super creepy. I didn't realize that it was so recent. But I guess
the idea of it isn't though.
No,
the idea of it's 1,000 years old.
Yeah, of speaking to the dead. But so and the name. So the board was named in 1890 by medium and spiritualist Helen Peters Nosworthy. The name came from the rooming house in Baltimore, where the planchette spelled out Ouija or Ouija, however you want to pronounce that, I guess. When asked what to name the board, the board said what to name itself.
Gave itself a name.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. So what is it?
Because I was always
wondering
that
word?
Ouija, like why is it called a Ouija board?
Yeah.
And it's like oui, it's like French.
Yeah.
Because it named itself, Jared.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean? And why did it name itself Ouija?
And why did they ask what they should call it? That's weird too.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, board game.
How do we know that
speaks
word
to the
isn't
dead.
something
That every time you say it,
Yeah.
a demon gets like his power.
It opens the portal.
And every time a bell rings, an angel gets wings. Every time you say Ouija, a demon sprouts from the underworld. From
I
Hades.
wouldn't trust a spirit to tell me what words to say.
And then we say it on the regular.
Yeah.
It's
Repeat
insane.
after me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's trying to get out of his cage, whatever.
Yeah.
Say Ouija.
What should we call you?
Yeah.
This is my chance.
Yeah,
baby.
exactly.
Yeah, call me Ouija. Call me by my name. So, what are we getting into first, Jay?
So I like looking at the evidence kind of behind this stuff. Like where did this kind of the scientific interest in the paranormal in the Western world really start? Because they'd always believe, I mean, the paranormal in the Eastern countries had kind of been just part of their heritage forever. But Western society was more scientific, right? They wanted they felt that was like kind of old world thinking. But there was a time where this started to explode in Western society, and it's still huge to this day. How many ghost hunting channels are there online?
1,010.
Yeah. So people are out there doing this. It was actually post-Civil War where people really started trying to reach out to the dead and conduct seances. And then after World War I, it became even more prominent.
Okay.
So you have a lot of famous names like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Sherlock Holmes, yeah.
He wrote Sherlock Holmes. He was a rich guy because of his writing, and he was a doctor, an educated man. And he believed that this was real, and he was searching for true evidence of it, and he would attend seances. You have Edgar Allan Poe attended a lot of seances with the best mediums, and so there's a lot of faith.
Dude, Edgar Allan Poe,
the higher end of society.
What a mysterious man that Edgar was, huh?
Yeah, obviously, this is totally something he'd be into.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the spirit world.
Seances and stuff. Dude, I saw this funny thing real quick. Pete Holmes has his channel. He does the Batman parodies. I'm sure you've seen it.
I've heard some. Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
But he does one, it's Sherlock Holmes, but he's terrible at like analyzing stuff.
That's funny.
So he'll think he knows stuff. He'll like shake a guy's hand. He'll be like, you had for lunch. You had blah 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 hot dog because there's mustard stains. And only man who would have hot dog on lunch is somebody whose parents got divorced. Your father was a heavy drinker, and he'd go in and would show all this stuff. And there's a fiber on here, and that can only be from Chinatown in the east of it. And then he would do this whole thing, and he's like, "No, everything you just said was absolutely
completely
incorrect.
wrong."
Yeah, and then he'd be like, "Well, no." You say that's it's hysterical. Pete Holmes.
That's a funny idea.
It's a very clever idea.
Yeah.
And then he gets something right at the end that's totally off the wall, crazy, insane. But it's very
true though. In the Sherlock Holmes movies, where she's like, "Doesn't it seem a little silly that you could make such grand assumptions from the smallest details?" And he's like, "But isn't it the smallest details that tell us the most?" Mm-hmm. For example, and he starts giving these examples. You're right. You're like, "Oh yeah, that's
the best is in the second one." Because they're trying to find the killer, the would-be assassin.
Yeah.
And like, what do you see? And he's like, everything.
I
That
know.
is my curse.
Yeah.
So good. But chasing the chat here saying, dimensional science, worldly science, whatever it may be, talking about ghosts, we'll understand exactly what it is on from a scientific standpoint.
Yeah.
Then Tina said, hey. And then Chase said, what if Ouija boards are interdimensional entities that are always watching humans, oh, this is scary, through a dimensional lens and get excited when humans are able to communicate with them, though very evil. And then Chase said, I need Given Life to jump in. Yeah, where's GL at? What, we started right on time and he's not here?
Yeah. Hey, Tina. Let's get into mediums.
I want to see some scary videos. I want to talk about it. I know you have a scary video. I got a bunch of fucking scary videos.
So it makes sense that after like these wars where we get tons of losses, like Civil War and then World War I, where it was just so much senseless killing,
Again, a big reason why Ouija boards became prominent is because people wanted to speak to their loved ones.
So
that
it makes
fell in the
sense,
war. Yeah.
especially the wealthy and the people that can afford to bring in who are supposedly the best at this.
Sure.
They would bring in and they would, and I have some pictures of what like these old world seances kind of looked like. And they're similar today. So let's take a look at that just to kind of get you guys in the mode.
Wet your whistle.
I mean, look at this.
Let's wet your whistle.
If there's any way to make that bigger.
There is absolutely no way to make it bigger. No,
well,
I can't if you really want to.
Yeah, like if you look there, that seems to be, I mean, ectoplasm was a big deal. So when they were doing these seances in the 1800s and early 1900s, the presence of ectoplasm, you could see faces in it, you could see hands in it, it could move objects. It could even be used to move objects at a distance, like telepathy. But it was like an energy force that would congeal into this white, milky substance almost. And the mediums would expel it from their bodies as they were trying to contact the dead. So it was like a sort of a substance between both dimensions, right? Of the living and what they thought was the dead, right? Because we don't really know what they're talking to or who they're talking to.
Sure.
But here's a picture that kind of shows you a little bit of that. And then I have another one, really spooky stuff. Just the imagery, these people.
Dude, I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
Right?
Cameron, looking good as usual, but when Jared decide to get a fashion catalog, when did Jared decide to get a perfectly colored matched outfit with the light blue denim over the TPTNS white tee and a santan dad hat? I love it.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, on point.
So yeah, creepy
But look
imagery.
at this terrifying image. This is horrible.
I mean, you have a lot of people putting
Dude, what is that? What's with that chick in the middle? She's not normal. That's not a normal human.
She's probably the medium. I'm guessing,
she's for
right.
Oh, something's up.
They always were creepy, and I mean, these are people that are saying they can they have conversations with the dead, or the dead can speak through them, and then they expel this weird, gross liquid. Sometimes it's only captured on photography. You'll see this mist coming out of them, and sometimes it would physically. Be all over the place. Yeah. And now a lot of it was fraud, but a lot of it was looked at by Harvard scientists and parapsychologists and people that were really trying to debunk this stuff. And there were some people out there that had the ability to somehow create this interdimensional liquid.
So I always thought ectoplasm was like the waste product of a ghost or of a spirit or whatever, right? You know, like that's like
I don't know what it is.
So when you tap into them or you try to communicate, that's the fluid or that's
gross,
the waste product of it's super gross.
Pretty much.
That's the waste product of their presence.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Disgusting
How's that work? It might be. Yeah. There's something
that's
maybe
that
opening
is the
that
physical.
doorway.
Yeah. That is the physical byproduct of these. Creatures from another realm,
and it's been examined. There were these doctors, like a Nobel Prize award-winning surgeon who would study ectoplasm, and he was trying to do experiments to create superhumans, and that started around the time of where World War II was about to ramp up, and what. Country was probably really
Captain
excited
America.
about that.
Oh yeah, Germany was stoked on it.
They were all into it. This Dr. Connolly is his name. He had ties to Lindbergh. So Charles Lindbergh, first guy to do the transatlantic flight.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and his baby showed up missing. But it's strange that they would do these.
Oh yeah, that's a story.
Yeah. His baby went missing. It was like 2-month-old baby. But at the time that this baby went missing, he was working with this surgeon who was doing they were like close, working together all the time.
What were they working on?
Manipulating people was the goal, to give them inhuman capabilities, immortality or superhuman ability, where they said jump 20 feet into the air.
How do you get someone to stop working on something?
What if they were using his
child?
Baby and something went wrong?
Oh, you're saying the baby was the
experiment.
There
was a huge rumor that he was involved, that Lindbergh himself was involved in the disappearance of the child.
What you were saying more was like, what if somebody didn't want them to continue their work. So how do you stop a guy from working? Kidnap his baby.
No, he was looked at
hard.
like he didn't have like good alibis, and his behavior was strange. When they actually did arrest somebody, because he was a very high profile, famous guy.
Yeah.
Someone did get arrested for it and charged, and as soon as the sentence was handed down, he went right from the court, instead of going with his family and grieving, went right from the court to the Connolly center to work on the science that they were working on.
Right back to work.
That's where he went to.
It's
not weird.
Normal.
And this guy,
but I mean, some people, everybody grieves differently. Some people throw themselves into their work. I mean,
this was paranormal work. This was eugenics, which is what the Germans were working on in World War II. Human experimentation was where they were headed with their work. They were working on mental patients,
on a very
people that couldn't
door.
say no. Like it was real dark, evil stuff. But they were doing human experimentation to try to create immortality, and there were rumors that they had ectoplasm. This was America.
This is U.S.
Yeah, but he was given props by the Germans in the early 30s before World War II.
Dabbed up by Adolf.
Yeah, and a lot of his science seems to have shown up in World War II.
You have a video here. What's this video?
So it gives you it discusses a seance, more modern day, during the time of Ed and Lorraine Warren's investigations.
Dude, shout out to the Warrens, baby.
Let's look at a seance as they're done still. But the idea is a bunch of people get together and put their energy into contacting the dead using a person who has the ability to cross over between the realm of the living and the dead. Baby. So you give her all of your energy with a singular focus, a team of people holding hands around a dark room and with candles, all chanting or focused on one goal, can sometimes manifest something.
Craziness.
What is it? Yeah. So this talks about a very famous one.
Her life was the basis of the plot of the movie The Conjuring. However, there are many details that were left out of the movie, such as her involvement with a truly terrifying seance. When the Perron family moved into a new home in Harrisville, Rhode Island in 1971, they quickly realized that the home was filled with evil spirits. They called on Ed and Lorraine Warren to rid them of the entities. With the help of a medium, the Warrens and the Perron family conducted a seance. Their attempt to contact the spirits haunting their home went horribly wrong. During the seance, the medium contacted a particularly violent spirit. The spirit targeted the mother of the family, Carolyn Perron. At the hands of this entity, Carolyn was violently tossed around the house.
Crazy. And the movie shows all of that. Like the first Conjuring movie, we see her getting thrown around.
Oh, yeah.
Like the movie literally shows all of this.
It's so creepy.
The Conjuring movie is so good. By the way, we do have an episode where we dive into the whole Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
We talk about all of the cases that these movies are based on.
Yeah,
but,
it's cool.
Yeah, let's
the
keep
real
playing.
life versus the
the fictional, the movies. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Sensational.
So much force that she ended up with a serious concussion.
Crazy.
This was just one of the terrifying and violent paranormal events that the Perron family suffered through before being free of the spirits.
Wild. So they actually conducted a seance in that Conjuring house, and it went bad. The woman was picked up and thrown around. During seances, tables would lift up off the ground, chairs would move on their own,
Thank you, Slap Tam.
knocking, everything you can think of, and then all the way up until as far as ectoplasm with faces in them, or they would take these photographs during the seances, and when they would develop the photos, you'd see people in the room with the other that weren't there.
And that just goes to speak like
spirit photography
to how we filter out so much, because how do cameras pick it up?
Right.
And what about like EVPs and stuff?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So have you ever heard of a guy named Don Phillips?
No. Tell me about Donnie Phillips.
I got a picture of him. I think he would be as close to a modern day medium, and he's a successful one because he's been scientifically scrutinized for a very long time. This is what he looks like. And he has such an interesting story. So Don Phillips, he was exploring the paranormal, and he would go to people's houses that were extremely haunted. And his goal was to try to help people. He wanted to expel these evil spirits. And from a scientific perspective, he wanted to find out what these hauntings really were. What are these spirits or these poltergeists that are causing such dread for these homeowners? Yeah. So he was on a particular case where it was a very violent spirit that inhabited this house. And when he gets there, he picks up on a female spirit. And he asks the spirit, who are you? And she says, my name is Becky. And he gets it on an EVP. He has the recording of it. It's dead silent in the room. He puts it, just the recorder, and to record. Yeah. And he just says, who are you? What's your name? Plays it back. My name is Becky. So the recorder's picking this up, right? And he asks Becky, he goes, are you the malevolent spirit in this house? And she says, no.
Yeah.
And he says, can you help me get rid of this malevolent spirit? She goes, yes. And then everything stops. The haunting stops. And he tells Becky, thank you. You helped this family. And he
Becky
says,
with the good hair?
And he offers, I don't know what that means, but he asked Becky, would you come with me and help me help other people? Basically inviting this spirit
to help expel spirits.
And come with him to help. So he starts going on these other haunts, and Becky is with him.
Ghosts.
Yeah. And Becky's always with him. And he talks to Becky, and he gets the EVP recordings, and he's doing this for a while. And he's like, someone needs to see this, and measure this. There needs to be a scientific arm that knows that I'm doing it, and it's real.
Yeah.
So he contacts a scientist, a parapsychologist, and he asks him, would you come out and just kind of look at what I'm doing and see the evidence that I'm getting? And the guy's like, no. He's like, dude, you don't want me out there because I'm gonna find out what you're up to,
and I'm gonna destroy all your crap.
Because I'm gonna expose you to the world.
I'm gonna make you look like a goof.
And the guy's like, that's what I want.
Yeah, I want the scrutiny.
Yeah, I want you to do that. And he goes, I want you to.
Okay, so guy comes out.
Okay. And he starts getting the EV. He's talking to Becky. They go out to one of the most haunted places chosen by Dawn at first. And when he sees all the EVPs and the talking, and he's picking up on malevolent things, and then they look into the history of the place they were at, and they do find there was some stuff going on there that would make sense for a haunting. So this parapsychologist says, I'm going to take you to a place I know, right, that you don't know. Okay. And when they get there, the guy starts picking up on all of these things. He's like, I'm feeling like something about Egyptian spirits, or ancient Egypt for some reason, like a museum of some kind. And the manor had once been owned by this guy who was big into Egyptian artifacts and collected them and made his own Egyptian museum in this castle, that they were in. So he was dead on. And when he's talking to Becky, and all the recordings, when he would play them, you're hearing Becky talk. So the guy's hearing this. He's like, first he's like mind blown. But then he's like, maybe the guy's messing with me or something. Yeah. So how do I? So he, when they have this good connection with Becky.
So the EVP, it's playing through what?
So he's just recording and playing and hearing what they have to say.
So he records seemingly dead air.
Dead air. No talking.
And then
it's a silent. And then there's talking. Yeah.
Hey, so look to the left.
Exactly. Right. Go upstairs. I feel another spirit here.
Dude.
That kind of stuff.
Have you seen that woman who, I should have got it. I don't know you were going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
But there's a woman, every time she records something, there's this haunting in the background every single time.
Oh, that sucks.
So these paranormal investigators come out and they're talking to her, and they're like, all right, well, in front of us with my recorder, will you record something?
Yeah.
And so she's like, hello, is anyone there? Hello? Mm-hmm. Hello? They play it back. Hello, is anyone there? Dude,
that's weird,
creepy.
Dude. Yeah.
But like
what
haunting demon, like screaming, not just like, like straight.
Yeah.
Horrible,
so
horrifying.
What is that?
What is that? And it's their recorder. I mean, who knows? But Chase was saying, no lie, the best thing to do in haunting. You could read it better. Would you mind reading that?
Is to play video games, put the headset on, play with friends,
dude.
Not paying attention to anything that the ghosts are doing, and they'll get bored.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and leave you alone.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the scary things playing scary video games.
Pay attention.
Dude, some like Resident Evil, Biohazard I was playing, and bro, I had my big screen with I didn't have headphones on, but I had, surround sound hooked up, and I'm playing. Dude, everything that happened was terrifying. Every jump scare. Dude, when I'm running, I feel like I'm running from my actual life.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing, dude.
That's
a good scary game. Resident Evil, I think, is the king of scary games, but a good scary game is nothing like it. But I got some cool videos
I played
of
some
EVPs.
fun scary games.
Look at this girl. I was gonna text her today and see if she wanted to come to the show.
Yeah, you guys come hang out.
Yeah, Princess. The fudge, bruh. Get with it. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're not here next week, I'm done with you. This is your favorite. This is Halloween.
Yeah.
Get your ass over here. Anyway, I do have a scary EVP, but I know you have some videos you wanted to play.
Yeah. Well, so this guy, he brings out his own measuring tools and his own recorders, and he's getting all this, right? So he's like, this guy's might be actually legit. But what's strange is Don's starting to get physical problems when they're at these places,
like scratches,
like heart attack type symptoms.
Oh, what?
He starts sweating. His heart he's in pain. He's barreled over, and he's like, I feel there's something here. There's a presence here. It's like something's going on. And then they'll do the EVPs, and they're picking up all. So it's almost like some people think Becky has possessed him, that she's using him.
Because those are signs like that you get fatigue,
stuff like that,
and sickness. And
so they don't know, is Becky really helping, or was that her way in?
Or Becky's not the good ghost.
How did
That's
she
her
stop
way in.
a bad ghost?
Yeah,
unless
she was the bad
something
ghost,
higher.
and she just she is the bad ghost,
Or she was.
and she decided, let me stop slamming cabinets for a second.
Yeah,
right.
And now I'll go with you. You've invited me in.
Yeah,
thank you for letting me in.
Yeah, it's like not saying goodbye with the planchette on the Ouija board.
Right.
What is that? Thanks for letting.
It's X-Men Apocalypse. Thank you for letting me in.
Of course, that's why I didn't know, because it's a shit movie.
That's a great moment. I'm not alone. And then Jean walks in, and then she starts walking off the edge.
I mean, that's cool.
That's
imagery,
the coolest scene.
But
and then she
terribly miscast.
Unleash your power.
Sophie
and the Phoenix
Turner,
shows up.
Terribly miscast.
Apocalypse is like, that's been revealed. That's cool. It's a great moment.
No. Yeah, it's all right. But
that's the best scene in the movie.
The cat. Yeah, it's the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
No, for sure, the Quicksilver scene is the best scene, where he goes through the whole house.
Yeah, but that scene is amazing, where they're all attacking
it's
Apocalypse,
cool.
and
It's
that's
cool.
her Phoenix Force.
Dude, you know what we need? And then we'll get back to the spooks. We need a storm, a legit storm.
Yeah, it's coming.
Storm is like a goddess, bro.
We know.
Aurora Monroe. She's a badass.
She's coming.
She has to
They're all
come soon.
they're all coming. Yeah.
Because
we're getting X-Men.
And you know what else we need is a real Cyclops. Not James Marsden had scheduling conflicts, so couldn't film the third one.
Yeah.
Like none of that BS. Not him bowing to Wolverine. No, he puts Wolverine in check.
Yeah.
He says, no, I'm in charge.
I like when the young cast runs into Weapon X and they release him, and he just destroys the whole compound. And then Jean gives him like a memory back.
Yeah.
And he just, he's a mess, so he doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
But I love how when he leaves,
Well, it's new
Cyclops
timelines,
says,
too.
well, I hope we never see him again.
Yeah.
That's a good little line.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so strange stuff with these, that Becky's following him around, helping him with these cases. And he says, we're helping people. She's helping me help people. But he's getting physically. And then at one point, they pick up all this energy.
Yeah.
And just like they used to use ectoplasm for moving objects and things, this parapsychologist pulls out dowsing rods. And I have a video of what dowsing rods are. And they're basically these rods you hold in your hand that can swing on their own, and you can't control which way they swing. They just
I know exactly what those are. All right, let's check it out.
So it's something that paranormal investigators use.
Hi, I'm Shannon.
So this shows you kind of.
I'm a paranormal investigator, and I started using dowsing rods during investigations because I wanted a tool that wasn't electrical.
It's supposed to pick up on
Traditionally,
energy.
you should ask your rods for permission to douse, and you should thank them afterwards. Everyone's yes and no is going to be different, so you should ask your rods to show you a yes.
So in what you're holding, the rods are free.
What is that demon scratching in the background? What's that terrible
Yes,
noise?
it's to my right. And can you show me
Yeah,
a
I
no?
guess
So you can't control how they move.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. And so now she said
nose
no.
to my left.
So now no, it's to the left. So
Thanks, guys.
that's
Happy
the energy
dowsing.
pushing it one way or another. Well, while they're on this investigation, the cameras are rolling and they're talking to Becky, and
Becky with a
he
good
pulls
one.
out the dowsing rods, and he asks Dawn to try and interact with them. And he puts his hand up towards the dowsing rods, and they fly the other direction. And then
They're
he
like,
pushes,
nah.
he goes like this, and they move the other way.
They're like avoiding him?
them. He's like able to use the energy to push them.
He's like a magnet.
Telekinesis. It was like using the energy that he had amassed from this encounter. He could He could
Dawn
use it
was
to
the one
move.
pushing?
Yeah.
The one who was possessed
Becky, yeah.
potentially by
He was
Becky?
using the energy from Becky to push these things at a distance.
And the scientist was the one holding the
Yeah,
rods?
he's just holding the rods, and he's a foot away, and he would just move his hand, and the rods would move away from his hand. He'd move his hand this way, and they'd move this way. So he was controlling the rods' directions, and he would just move his hand like a foot away from them and just point, and they would push the opposite direction. So he was able to use this energy to push things.
So what is that? Becky
and mediums
inside
used
of
to
him?
do this. Yeah. Well, no, that just it's some sort of energy interacting in the physical world.
Because Dowsing Rods, potentially ghosts are the one
It's supposed to
manipulating
be
them, right?
energy. Yeah, like the
So you say
paranormal energy.
Are you here with me? Yes. Are you a woman? No.
Because what are ghosts? I mean, if not energy, right, of some kind, like manifesting physically in our world somehow.
Sure. Yeah.
Like what's an apparition? What is it when people see a ghost, like an actual girl, a woman standing there in the woods that disappears?
We have a bunch of video, dude. I got
When you see
videos.
so what is that? But
So
he could move this energy. He could use it to move these dowsing rods, which is pretty insane.
Ghosts, yeah, they could be a million things. They could be energy from a person that is left over, like what we see, like as spirits. The explanation most people have.
Yeah.
Right? It's someone died. They have unfinished business.
That's what people think. Yeah.
Like in Rick and Morty, when he wants to create a ghost, he creates like this robot thing, and then he has it has business. And it's going to 100%, and he stops it at like 90%.
Yeah,
so there's unfinished business, and then he kills it, so it becomes a ghost.
Yeah.
With unfinished business, but it falls through the floor. He's like, okay, so I gotta make gravity's part of the finished business, or unfinished business, but I gotta make this part of finished. Very clever. The show's
it's
just
fun. Yeah, it's a good stuff.
But so I do have a scary EVP video that I want to. show you.
Since we're talking about Becky, you can play the EVP video if you want.
Becky with the good hair, but. We do have. We'll play the orb video after.
Yeah.
Even though they're out of order, but that's okay.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to talk about next. We're talking about poltergeists. Something else shows up with a poltergeist pretty much every time.
Oh yeah.
And to go back to the point of, are these things energy that just like?
You want to play the rod? Yeah. You want to play the orb thing first and talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense because we're talking about what are they. And how is he able to move these rods using this paranormal energy? And only when he's in these places where he's tapping into this energy with Becky, is he able to do that. He can't do it any other time. It's just when at this heightened state, he's able to move these things with this energy. Accompanying poltergeist activity, moving on from mediums and from ectoplasm and from that type of evidence, video cameras are invented. Yeah. And when we start getting poltergeist activity on video, there's always this accompanying energy, which is in the form of orbs. Yeah. And in photography, you can pick up orbs on pictures. You can pick them up on video. Yeah. You see them very well on night vision. So it's a form of energy we're not seeing.
Guys, go check out last week's episode where if you want to see somebody you tell the story, a military personnel sees a little boy with an outline, with a bright white outline. And he takes off his night vision goggles and he's gone.
I can't see him without
You can only see him with the NVGs.
Yeah, what's that?
But
What is that?
I don't know. So let's show a video of an orb right now.
Yeah.
And then I want you to tell the story of when you went ghost hunting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. You saw those orbs.
Of course.
And you do have some personal stories. When we watch some of these videos, I want you to tell some of the stories. Because you have stuff going on today at your house. Like, when we lived together.
Yeah.
Dude, stuff happened.
I've experienced hauntings all the way since then. Yeah.
I blame you.
That's where it all started.
When you lived with me.
Yeah.
It started with me. I blame you, though, entirely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still experiencing it.
Exactly. And I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm good. Dude, if you saw that, would you just think what?
So it's this obvious, it's not a piece of dust, right? It's almost got this
intelligence about it.
Sure. It's moving in its own manner. It looks to be.
Maybe it's a slow piece of dust, baby. Who knows?
I know, but where's the other pieces of dust? Usually with dust, you just see little specks flying by. With orbs, especially in color, you can see there's like a rainbow color to them. Like they have some sort of light bouncing off of them. Different forms. And people have seen green orbs, blue orbs, red orbs. And then there's some orbs that only pick up on night vision. Yeah. But yeah, poltergeist, anytime you watch a poltergeist video or a good one, you'll see orbs flying everywhere right before stuff happens, right after stuff happens, or during. So there's this exchange of energy going on where these things seem to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, play that video. I've got a great picture of an orb if you want to show that picture.
I'm about to,
Yeah. I mean, the coloring of this is great. And I have dozens of pictures like this. Personal.
Oh, what the hell, son?
Yeah, so look at that.
Dude, that is like the most legit orb I've ever seen.
Right?
Though.
It's got color to it. There's some green in there. There's some red in there. There's some blue in there.
And there's like a pattern to it.
Yeah, and it almost looks like
an
atom, right? Like
right.
Isn't that weird? And it's at a cemetery, obviously. So a great place for there to be a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not just from the dead, but what about from the living that went there to grieve these loved ones, that put their energy into when they visit or whenever the person was buried, all of that sad energy that's put into those ceremonies, and the intent put into it, I think there's a residual effect in our reality and maybe in another one.
Yeah. So, dude, real quick, and we could talk more about what ghosts are and everything. Yeah. Real quick, there's this guy. He goes to this haunted tunnel where supposedly a mother and her child were hit by a train.
Jeez.
And some people say it's a different story. Some people say she was unalived elsewhere, and then the body was moved there. So there's some stories. And so they call it Crybaby Tunnel.
Yeah.
They call it Crybaby Tunnel. So let's check out what's going on at Crybaby Tunnel.
This place is spooky.
Yeah.
Is anybody out there?
Not good.
Bro, it's in the middle of nowhere, mind you. In the middle of the night.
Right.
Oh, sounds like a baby crying.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell
My reaction.
Right?
Hell no.
So,
in the pitch black darkness of the tunnel with nothing but a flashlight, Levi suddenly hears the disturbing cries of a baby.
But what were we saying?
I mean, so a lot of parapsychologists wonder if poltergeist activity is actually being created by the person themselves, right? A lot of these hauntings happen in houses where people are going through really hard times. And there's a lot of negative energy in the house, and sometimes they attribute it to the poltergeist. But what if it's the other way around? What if it's our energy and the anxiety and the stress and the depression or whatever you're going through, and you're manifesting these things that what a crybaby tunnel, you're expecting what? And you show up there and you get it. Is it because that was what he's putting out there?
What if the first person who went to Crybaby Tunnel who never heard somebody, let's just say somebody who's never heard about this, the lore behind it, and they hear it, how do you reconcile that?
No idea. No idea. Unless it was research
there
because
is something there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they're haunted and then they go find out, oh, there was this horrible thing that happened in the house.
Yeah. Or to your point, maybe, they bring maybe there already is something there, and then they bring their baggage.
That's what allows it to manifest.
And then maybe that's how when this person only heard an EVP or something, someone else is seeing a shadow person.
Yeah.
Because they are bringing their baggage, their energy, so to speak, right?
We know
and that adds to it, and that compounds, and then now this thing that was you could only hear it or see it as an orb, now you see full body apparitions. Right?
Yeah. I think there's something to that for sure, because we know that just us being there and interacting with an environment changes an environment.
Sure.
The temperature of a room can go up when people are arguing.
Yeah.
Things like that, or that sixth sense we all have when
Someone's
a predator
looking at you.
is lurking, or you're being stalked. You can feel it. or the negative energy when you walk into a room and you know the people had just been arguing somehow.
Or you walk into a building and you're like, dude, this place is not
Feels
cool.
wrong.
Yeah,
there's
something's up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So speaking of full-bodied apparitions, what about if you were just showcasing a house?
Yeah.
And you're just a real estate agent, and you're taking a little video of this beautiful house in Japan,
yeah.
and you see a full body apparition.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
How would you reconcile that?
Yeah.
Well, we have video evidence of that. Let's see it, baby.
Videos. Anthony is giving a tour through an affordable 4-bedroom home in Fukuoka City,
It doesn't,
Japan.
dude.
Yeah.
When this happens.
Or it makes perfect sense. Who knows?
Here's what $760 gets you in Fukuoka, Japan. Now, today we have a classic Japanese home, starting with a very nice tiny room.
Did you see that?
Monthly
Just a
rent
guy
of
there.
Juni
Did you
Mane.
see that?
Yeah.
This 4-bedroom
Now
home
there's
is
nobody-
a wonderful
nobody there?
location.
Nope. Look at
30-minute
that,
walk
and it's
away
gonna
from
play
the
it again
supermarket,
for those who didn't see it.
electronics store, and convenience stores.
Did you see it?
Yeah. And he's standing behind
After
there,
he
which
enters
makes
the
it
shadow
creepy.
Oh, and the shape is just not that of a human. It's like
Japanese
so
style.
odd.
But when
It's like a
Anthony
human wearing
looks
shorts.
Big guy, yeah.
There's no one there. But Anthony didn't notice.
And you don't
any
see
of
him
this
run or
until
move or
Yeah,
that's
look
so
at that,
wild.
bro. Look at that.
Yeah.
And like skinny ass legs. Like what's
Yeah.
happening with this giant torso? It looks like it's wearing shorts or something. Like it's not right. Whatever
Right.
it is, it's just not right. You
yeah.
know?
So what? Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. What is that? You tell me.
Yeah. And I mean, we have stories that go all the way back to like biblical times where these types of interactions were seen as angelic or demonic. So I think that's where we kind of get this idea that that's maybe what it is.
Yeah.
The evil spirit thing. But before that, that it would be considered divine. A lot of these encounters, right, where somebody would be lifted up off the ground. They were thinking the gods were blessing them.
Oh,
You know,
of course,
It's
yeah.
so it's strange, like what your interpretation of what these phenomenon really are.
Yeah.
Hearing somebody talk to you that's not there, that was considered a divine moment, like the gods were speaking to you directly.
That's what the Bible is. It's translations from a
So
higher
what
power.
is that?
Right?
Yeah, and so if you're a very pious person, a very religious person, no matter what that religion is, it could be the most ancient religion. It could be something, you know, the Sumerian worships,
Whatever they
right?
worship,
Their gods, and to them, something appearing in a form that isn't really there, an apparition, or just a disembodied voice speaking to you, telling you something, you would feel like the gods are speaking to you.
Yeah.
And that could spin off an entire new religion based on what these things were telling you. So what are these things?
And that's how Catholicism was. No, I'm just kidding.
That's how a lot of religions are started and new ones are created.
Yeah. But it's again, it's whatever it is, we seem to be filtering it out.
Yeah, obviously.
And some people can see it, some people can't. What
Yeah.
about when objects can see it and we cannot?
Yeah.
Like what if it's right in front of you, but you can't see it, but like perhaps a mirror can?
Yeah. Or if you had night vision goggles, maybe you would see
vision
these
goggles.
things, infrared.
But
or,
I actually have a video about just that. Check this out. This is gonna freak you out.
Nursing assistant. One night, she's working the late shift in the psychiatric unit at an old and allegedly haunted children's hospital in Maine. She spots something that sends a chill down her
Check this
spine.
out, dude. This
I
is
had
so
an experience
nuts.
at one of these
Okay,
places.
there's nobody here, right?
She's chilling. She's alone.
Nobody here. What is
Why
that?
is there a
Because
man
it is
standing in the
This is
mirror?
waving, closing the door.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Like,
And here comes the door back opening.
bro,
And nobody's there.
it's clear as day.
But
Yeah.
yet,
The mirror picks it up.
Yes.
There's a reflection,
Yeah.
which
Look at that.
again, there's light bouncing.
Bouncing off of this
Yeah.
thing. But it's like, it looks similar to the previous shadow
We're
creature we saw.
filtering it out optically somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. How does that make sense?
And it's interacting with the physical world.
Yeah. So I guess that does sort of make sense. We're filtering it out. The mirror, for some reason, how the light bounces off the
Yeah.
mirror, as opposed the mirror doesn't have thoughts, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
have filters. Or it reflects what is
Light,
there. Light.
Yeah.
So if something's there, we're filtering it out, but it sees it. and we can film it being seen.
How's that work?
I don't know. Chase said, if I were one of those ghost hunters, I'd bring a miniature particle accelerator.
There you go.
Yeah. Calibrated to attract specific particles related to the ghostly dimension and hook it to a vacuum. Just
me, though. Just you and Venkman.
Yeah.
Well, who invented it was Egon, right? Yeah, come on. That's such a cool idea to use particle accelerators. And then they collect ectoplasm. And by studying the ectoplasm, they can figure out what the ghosts are made of. Therefore, what energies do they need to be able to use to interact with these particles? With the makeup of the ectoplasm.
So you have stories about orbs. You have stories that are happening in your house right now. Tell me some of these stories that you deal with regarding the paranormal.
Yeah, I've got a few. Starting with orbs, I went to Catalina Island, where I stayed at a hotel that was a very famous hotel. A president had stayed there at some point.
Okay.
I'm talking like 1920s, something like that. Was it
renowned as a haunted hotel?
I didn't know it was until I did the Catalina Island ghost tour, and they take you around. There were some interesting things that happened in Catalina.
Okay.
There was a man who went there to conduct science experiments on the local natives that lived on the island.
Great.
He was kidnapping native children and using them for his own experimentation. So that's why a lot of people think the island is cursed.
Yeah, bro.
So there's that side.
You want to guarantee to curse someplace? Experiment on children and have like things die there.
Dig up graves, things like that. That's what he was doing.
Cool.
Right?
What is it? Yeah. Do that or build a hotel on an Indian burial ground.
Right.
These are your options of guaranteeing horrors.
Yeah.
Future horrors.
It's true. Like the movie Poltergeist, that's what they did. They built Avalon, the city there, was built on this old native land where there was, I'm sure, burial grounds.
Yeah.
And then we have this dark history of their people being taken and experimented on. Then in the, I think, turn of the century, there's a fire in Avalon that wipes out like half the city and kills hundreds of people. People stuck in these buildings and in these hotels that are trapped during these fires. They rebuild all the structures, and those are the buildings that are there today. But
so the buildings weren't completely decimated. Good portions were, and so there's remnants.
Some were burnt to the ground,
and
but they
rebuilt
them. Yeah.
So people perished.
Yes.
In some of these buildings that burnt all the way to the ground. They built on top of it.
Yes.
You know, obviously the bodies were removed, but okay, so they built on top of this place where horrific things happened and people were unalived in a horrible way. Mm-hmm. Okay, screaming to the very end.
Yeah, burning alive. Yeah, pretty much. Horrible stuff. So they rebuild these structures, and the hotel I was staying in, I used to smoke cigarettes back then. And so I went there with my girlfriend at the time, and we're staying in a room. And we're staying in a room together, and she's pissed because she keeps thinking I'm smoking in the room. And I can smell it.
Smoke.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to smoke in the rooms, right? And she didn't want me smoking in there anyway. And she's like, are you going in the bathroom and smoking, like, or going in the hallway and smoking?
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, I smell it. I can smell the smoke. You're not fooling me.
But you smelled it as well.
I smelled it too. I'm like, no, I smell it. Someone else must be smoking around here.
Some asshole,
right?
And it's coming through the vent. Yeah.
So that night, I put on the TV. She falls asleep. I'm watching something, right? And I'm laying in bed, and I'm just sitting there with the remote, and I'm kind of channel surfing. And then I'm ready to fall asleep, ready to go to bed. She's been already passed out. And I reach for the remote to turn off the TV, and I can't find it. I'm like, what the
I hate when that happens.
And I look around, I'm searching. I search the whole bed. I search the nightstand. I'm like, everywhere. I hadn't moved from that spot on the bed, right, this whole time because I'm trying to fall asleep. Get tired enough. And then I look, and it's right underneath the TV across the room. And I'm like,
when did I do that?
Get up with the remote, walk over, and set it down on the TV.
She's not doing anything.
She's asleep.
Okay.
And then go maybe to the bathroom or something. Just I didn't remember. Like, but why would I bring the remote and put it there?
But you're in a foreign place. Maybe you're doing
I'm in a hotel, whatever. So I get up, grab it, turn it off, put it on the nightstand, go to sleep. Right?
Okay.
Wake up, ready to turn on the TV to make coffee and get ready for the day. Reach over to turn the TV on. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, maybe I fell asleep with it in the bed. So I'm searching for it again. Yeah. It's right in front of the TV again. And I'm like,
All the way up.
All the way across the room. I'm like, so I wouldn't have moved it in the middle of the night.
So she's done it twice now.
So I finally asked her the next day. I'm like, did you move the remote this morning? And she goes, no, I don't even know where the remote is. You had it. I was like, well, it's in front of the TV now, but it was on my nightstand. And she's like, no, I didn't move. I was like, I must have moved it then. Okay, whatever. And she's still mad at me for smoking. It's that night we go on the Catalina ghost tour, and we get to this hotel that we're staying in. It's part of the tour, and we're taking pictures of all the most haunted places on the island while they take you on this tour. And they say when we get to our hotel, this place burnt down, and several people died here. And it's said that you can still smell smoke from the fire that burnt the hotel down. Some people report smelling smoke all the time. And they say, and other people have seen apparitions.
That's what you were smelling, not the cigarette smoke. It was smoke from the fire.
Exactly right. Because it was all a non-smoking floor. That's why she was so upset. She's like, we're going to have to pay a deposit or something for what you're doing.
Yeah, for your foolishness.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it didn't smell like cigarette smoke to me. Like, it just didn't.
And you would know the difference.
Yeah, I
mean,
would
you were
definitely know the difference. It smelled just like smoke, but no alarms going off. Nobody else in the hallways. No one smoking because I checked the hallway.
No one's banging on doors.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, I looked at her and she picked up on that immediately. And I was like, we both been smelling
She's
smoke.
like, I've been an asshole to you and I'm so
And then
sorry.
I was like, something else happened. The remote keeps moving on its own. Like, I'm telling you, that makes sense now. Like, maybe that's what's happening because I wouldn't move it.
Checked into a hotel.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize
it was the most haunted.
That it was going to be
haunted hotel on the island. Yeah.
Not only did you realize it was part of the ghost tour.
Yeah.
It was the coup de grace.
Yes,
it was the most haunted freaking hotel out of the entire.
Even the floor they say where most of the activity happens on was the floor we were staying on.
No way.
Yep, 100%. We experienced what people had been reporting to experience.
Out of the whole tour.
Out of the whole tour.
You stayed in the worst.
I told
floor
the
of the worst, scariest hotel.
Yeah. I go, I'm on that floor. I was like, we're staying there. I smelled smoke last night. So we're taking all these pictures. We get the pictures developed when we get back home.
Yeah.
To Vegas.
Yeah.
And in all the pictures we took are those huge orbs that look just like that. I've never taken a picture in my life with one of those in it. I took, and back then you took pictures and developed them. There was no digital camera printing them. You
had the disposable.
Yeah. You'd get a bunch of those, right? Yeah. Or film, and you'd bring it into like a Walgreens or something, and they would develop them for you. So, I mean, you're talking early 2000s, right? Mid 2000s.
Before everyone had a camera phone.
Like 2008 to 10 or, 2000 to 12, whatever, somewhere around there. Let's just say.
Before everyone had a camera phone.
Before everyone had a camera phone, exactly. So I had never, ever seen anything like that in any picture I had ever taken my whole life. And my whole life was developing pictures. Every picture we developed from the ghost tour had the whole screen is covered in these. The whole screen is just these. There's 20 of them in every photo.
And it's not like you're in a dandelion field or anything.
No, we're in the city and we're walking around and we all have EVP meters and as we're walking around, you'd see this guy's EVP meter go off, then this guy's, then mine, then the person next to me, and like it's moving past you. Yeah.
Oh so yeah, Miss Domino.
There's 10 of us there. But all of them are going off, not at the same time. As it's like passing by, you can see.
That's a creep.
That's creepy stuff. Yeah. So that was my experience with orbs.
Princess saying, wow, I want to go on that trip. Yeah, you wouldn't be more terrified than anything ever.
I know, seriously.
She gets scared. What scares her the most? Aliens and what's the thing?
Robots.
Robots. Bro.
AI robots.
And remember
stuff,
we did an alien robot episode?
Yeah, pretty much.
She's like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
So Avalon is one of the most haunted cities. Catalina's haunted. And you know what also is funny about that? It has the most USO sightings. There is a huge number of UAP sightings off Catalina Island.
There's a connection to be made between like ghosts and UFOs.
Every
talked about
time.
It before.
People that investigate UFOs have paranormal experiences.
Well,
Skinwalker.
Like we said, there's literally a term for that. It's called high strangeness.
Yeah.
For some reason, all these ufologists and UFO investigators, once they have a prominent sighting or an abduction possibly, after every single time, they have high strangeness where it's seemingly ghosts and that kind of stuff.
Right. So like Skinwalker Ranch, they were dealing with UAPs all the time, but also paranormal activity. They'd put away the groceries, and then all the groceries are back in the bags.
Yeah.
They'd see giant
Inconvenience.
animals that they would shoot 10 times, and the animal would just look at them and walk away.
Yeah.
And then the footprints would disappear.
Yeah.
As if it was
they'd
just
shoot it.
lifted
They
off
would
the
see
ground.
the blood. Psst, psst,
But the animal was
and the animal wouldn't
unfazed.
flinch.
Yeah, just stare at them.
Go check out our Missing 411 episode.
Yeah, or even we
have
have a
two of them.
Skinwalker Ranch episode where we
Dude,
talk
that's a
about
banger too.
all of the
'Cause
craziest stuff.
Yeah, we talk about everything that goes on. And dude,
Yeah.
that place, if you want to talk about paranormal, bro, Skinwalker Ranch.
But it's UAP related. They were there to investigate UAP
UAPs.
sightings, but they
And
were.
Then they saw skinwalkers and they
Orbs.
saw orbs through the roof.
Cryptids, animals
Literally,
that
they
shouldn't
go through the roof.
exist.
Yeah.
Literal animals that they didn't know what they were. They were mixes between different animals that we don't have
Yeah.
in this.
Coyotes that only stood
Realm.
on their hind legs. It's like, what?
Weird stuff, yeah.
Lizards with hairy bodies. Like crazy shit.
Stupid, silly
Yeah.
stuff, and they would disappear.
And sorry, Princess, she said, I love aliens, not robots. Love snakes, hate spiders. My bad, whatever. I mixed it up. Sorry.
Yeah, she
But-
hates robots for sure.
Yeah, I know that. But
Yeah, so there's a connection.
there is a connection. You know what else has connections? I don't know. Let's see. What's my next video? Oh, yeah. So I know that you have experiences at your home right now
Yeah, I
that
still
you deal
have
with. And I want to hear about those. But let's watch a video
Yeah.
to get us in the mood
Okay.
before we, to get the idea of what you're dealing with here. Because, you were telling me a little bit on our phone call. And
Yeah, because I just had another
just
one.
horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we want to hear them all. So here we go. Let's check this out. This guy's home sucks, dude. So this guy lives.
Chilling.
So me and my wife have been living in this apartment for about 6 months now. For the past 2 weeks, some weird things have been happening in our son's room. So I wasn't gonna record.
The worst
but
case,
I
right?
actually came here to feed the cats. We have 2 cats. So I came over to feed them, and I noticed that in his room, my son's room back here, there's one of my cats, I can hear his toy being played. And it was not on before. It is playing right now. And I don't know why it's playing right now. I didn't leave it on. But even if I did leave it on, like, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
Even
You have
if
to
I
touch
did
the
turn it
buttons,
on,
right?
Yeah.
it wouldn't automatically play. You'd have to, even if I brush over the keys, it doesn't
Nothing.
really go.
Yeah.
So you'd have to really
My Google
press the
does
button
that.
and it go. And it was not on, it turned on, and I could hear it. And that's why I started.
I don't have anything like that
And now I'm
happen to
looking
me
around,
ever.
and it's
Yeah.
like there's stuff
God willing.
knocked over, there's plants knocked over, there's fake plants knocked over. There's books on the ground. The wipes are on the floor. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
And there is no one here. I am here by myself.
But check this out. It's not
Someone
it.
just walked by the. It's always.
Oh.
And I will go out there and show you.
Hold on. No. Look at
Lights
this.
are on the floor.
I
I
skipped
don't
it.
know what is going on. And there is no one here. I am here by myself. There's nothing here. Do you see that?
You see that?
Yeah.
Am I insane? Am I insane?
No, brother. We saw it with you.
Oh, that's
pal.
just
Someone
terrace.
just walked by the window. And
Yeah.
I will go out there and show you that no one is here. This door is locked. Close the door.
It turns on by itself, and as Joey looks around the room, a strange shadow can be seen passing
darkens
by
it
the
up, look.
balcony window.
Oof.
Joey shows that there's no one outside and that there's nowhere for anyone
But
to
that's
hide.
not it.
In
'Cause
fact,
check it
this
out.
window is on an enclosed balcony.
Yeah, it's on the
If
balcony.
you look really closely,
Look at this.
the rocking chair starts to move. It's in the corner. You can see it's very slight. It's very slight.
Very
You can see the shadow
subtle,
kind of moving.
but
It's rocking on its own. There's no one there. Everyone is at my mom's house right now. Everyone's at my mom's house.
but check this out.
And then the wipes fly off the dresser. And then
And then the
that
bin
hamper.
falls over.
Or maybe the hamper falls over. Like, what is going on?
Okay.
No one's there.
Not cool.
Yeah.
A rocking chair sitting in the corner of his son's bedroom begins to rock back and forth by itself, almost as if someone is sitting in it.
Yeah.
Then some baby wipes fly off
Just
the
fly
dresser,
off.
and a hamper falls over onto the floor.
Bro.
Joey's-
Not okay.
Yeah.
Not
So
okay.
I deal with some similar stuff.
Yeah, what you got?
So the toy thing has happened at my house, but I always just attribute it to somehow the toy turned on, right?
Okay.
Or something. Whatever.
Sure,
It's
sure,
whatever, because you try and figure out the most basic explanation. Of
course.
Maybe a button was halfway stuck and then it, whatever. But you try not to freak out about those. My son has a tool set. It looks like it's like a kid's version of a Black & Decker tool set with like this little spot for pegs where you can hang all the tools from.
Yeah, okay,
and I started noticing right away that the tools would just fall off all the time. It's annoying, right? They're all set up on these pegs.
Yeah.
But they would just fall, and we'd be sitting there, kind of next to it. There's a couch on the other side of it.
Okay.
And the board where the tools hang, the other side of it is where my son plays with the tools. That's where they're all set up and where the little things are that he can hammer and stuff.
Yeah.
So just a couple days ago, me and my fiance, we wake up early and the baby's still asleep. And so we decide to go into the living room and watch like a show until the baby wakes up, put on a TV show. Yeah. And we end up both falling asleep.
What were you
watching? We put on like a scary movie, right? It was like... the greatest, that Netflix series, Fear Street. We wanted to watch it this Halloween, the 3-part series. Yeah. So we put that on.
You didn't watch the Kardashians?
Because we don't want the baby to wake up. No, it's Halloween.
They came out with a movie, The Kardashians, and it's literally a movie about them. Dude, I turned it on just to see it, and it's literally the beginning. It's this drone shot, and it goes through their houses, these giant mansions. Yeah. And it's like the worst.
They're massive.
But it's like not even like cool or well done. It's sort of like shitty, and they introduce them like Kendall. Like it'll zoom up and it'll show Kendall, but it'll cut them out of the frame. But because the drone's like moving, they're like all blurry. Dude, it's like so bad. That's fun. It's so bad.
Yeah.
They were trying to do this cool thing, I'm sure in their heads, like, and then it'll go under the table, and it'll come around your giant fucking house. Yeah. And then it'll zoom into you, and you'll be doing business.
Yeah, there you go.
And then and that's what it was. And then it would freeze frame, but they'd be all like blurry. It was horrible. Anyway, sorry. So you weren't watching the Kardashians. You were watching scary movies.
Yeah. We put on like Fear Street, the first part, and we're both passed out probably within the first 20 minutes. And it's on really low because we don't want the baby to wake up. I want him to wake up naturally. Yeah. And we end up both falling asleep. Well, so my son, where he's sleeping, he's able to get out of bed, and when he's ready, come walk out and wake us up should he want to.
He's becoming a little human being.
He's able to do that.
Let me just
so I go out there and mom and dad, I'm here I am, right? And it happens all the time. So we're out there, we both fall asleep on the couch, and then his tool set, I hear him hammering the nails, right, that are on the tool set. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. It's right next to the couch. So it's like right next to my head. Yeah. But that's him trying to wake us up, right? I get it. I'm like, okay, he's trying to wake us up. And he's banging on that thing away, and I'm like, so I open my eyes. I'm listening to it. I know the sound of it because he does it all the time, all day long. He plays with that thing. I know the sound of the plastic on plastic of the banging of the nails and
you've heard it a billion times over.
Right next to my head, so it's right here. But again,
and I'm sure he's played with it while you've watched TV
a billion times. I know the sound.
I
know the exact sound.
Yeah.
But there's that board that separates it where all the tools hang, so you can't see him playing with it from the couch. You could just hear it.
The peg board's in the way.
Banging. And so I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, he came out. Now he's trying to wake us up, I think.
Passive-aggressively trying to wake
I sit up and I hear he's banging away at the thing. And I get up to go around and, wait, good morning, buddy, or whatever, right? So I turn around the corner right in front of the tool chest and there's no one there. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, I know that sound. It wasn't from outside. It didn't sound in the distance.
It's right next to your head.
It's right next to my head. And I know what it is. I know it's the toy set being hammered. And I'm like, oh, he must have, in those few seconds, ran back into the bedroom or something, right? So I walk over into the bedroom to go check on him and grab him, and he's still asleep, totally passed out.
This just happened?
It was within seconds. I figured he just ran off into the hallway or something, right? And back into the bedroom.
Do you remember when your daughter, when we lived together, you and your daughter came home, and I hear her saying, who moved all my toys?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
she said more than that.
Hell? Yeah. Because and she's meticulous. She's a Virgo like me. She's very meticulous. So I remember when I was a kid. If you turned,
it was her pony. Little
My Little
toys.
Ponies. Yeah. If you turned one of my action figures, the slightest degree, I would know.
Oh yeah, she set up like whole things.
Because I would have a whole movie going on, right?
She had a whole thing going on.
So if she's anything like me, which she is, you turn ever so slightly and notice. So for all her toys to be out of place, she'd be like, all right,
She
what
knew.
happened?
She knew.
So, and I heard, and you said, oh, you probably, you played with him and forgot, or that you probably moved him. And
Exactly.
She, you know, trying to explain it away. And she's like, no. And then I came out, and I said, sorry, I was, you know, looking at him and playing around. And she's like, okay, it's okay. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's okay. She was younger, and I could tell in her voice. She's like, no, motherfucker. No, you didn't. You didn't come out and play with my toys, big dog. Like,
well, she was already a little afraid too, because she had seen a girl in the mirror behind her, and that didn't belong.
Nope.
A blonde girl in the house. And we used to hear a girl's laughter in the house,
Dude.
and running up and down the stairs. And
I didn't know that was a thing, because remember I told you I heard that.
yeah, you
And
thought
literally
she
that
was
banging?
doing it, but
And I
we
thought it was her, and
weren't
you guys
home.
fucking just left.
Yeah.
And my ex, who was there with me,
Yeah.
she's later. She pieced out. She's like, dude, they left. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, they didn't. That was her making the noise.
Right.
Because the house shook. When somebody is upstairs,
Running around.
you hear like
yeah,
the
and
house
she used to run
moves a little
around
bit.
all the time. Yeah.
So we thought it was her. I go upstairs. She's like, no, they left. I go upstairs.
Yeah.
You guys are gone. My ex, she's like, peace, bro. She's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I hear knocking on the walls in the house when we're all in the same
to
room.
this day?
All the time, yeah. I've told you I've heard my fiance's voice call to me from
Horrifying.
the bathroom in the middle of the night, and then I look over, she's sleeping next to me.
Horrifying.
So this kind of stuff happens in my house all the time.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
What if something happened in a church? Would that be terrifying?
Yes.
Check this out, dude.
Yes. I think churches have a lot of energy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
For a million reasons.
Youth group. When something happens that no one at the church can explain.
Dude, this is like just off the wall bonkers, like insane.
Watch.
Like
John,
Italian
are you
TV
watching
crazy?
this thing? It's not moving. No. Oh. No, watch.
We're watching.
They're physically in the same room.
Yeah.
Watch, John. Watch.
So the cue's just moving, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in here. Nobody listens to me.
Watch it.
But check this out.
It's about to go crazy and break.
Oh!
That takes strength.
That's an extreme.
It's still moving, y'all. It's
Yeah.
still moving. It's still moving.
Amount of energy.
Bro, it
A pool
broke.
stick on the floor.
Plus,
A pool
it
cue.
would just turn if
Snap.
it was
No.
being pulled. It was
It was intentionally broken in
snapped,
half.
Yeah,
Snapped.
So one side would be held straight while the other was pushed against with force to snap it that way without the other side moving. That's
Princess said, maybe it's the baby's guardian angel.
Yeah, that's what we hope. That's
Yeah,
what we
right.
say.
Yeah.
yeah. We're
Fingers
always like,
crossed.
oh, it's grandma.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what you
Aw.
want,
Yeah.
right?
And then she said Skinwalker Ranch episodes are the best. She was in one. You would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't know, man. It's just weird stuff.
Sucks. That sucks. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with that, knock on wood.
Yeah, I deal with that stuff all the time.
But yeah,
Doors slamming
the only time I
when
dealt
all
with
the
it
doors
was
are
with you.
closed.
And I remember you would always come into my room and you'd be like, bro, did you just slam a door? Did you just bang on this?
Yeah.
Like, no. And not only did I not do it, I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you
what's
would
weird.
hear shit that
Yeah.
I wouldn't even hear.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, my fiance doesn't hear a lot of the stuff I hear, or she's asleep when it's happening, and I'm the only one that wakes up to it.
Yeah.
But I'm awake sometimes when it's happening, and I'm hearing it while I'm fully awake, and then it stops when I try to investigate
Cool.
it or acknowledge
Cool.
it. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I hate it. But the banging on the walls that wake me up, like those are in the house. They're not outside. They're not a neighbor. It's on my wall. So that stuff is scary. Yeah. So I've dealt with that. The one thing I won't mess with is, and we talked about them earlier, is Ouija boards, right? I don't.
Yep.
I mean, I believe in energies. I believe our reality, there's more to the nature of our reality than we can see and that we can use our five senses for.
Sure.
And I believe that there is probably different dimensions that beyond the 3-4 dimensional framework that we live in, that can somehow, when they're, at certain points in the universe, or even certain entities have the ability to move between these dimensions, and we don't know how that works yet. But we're figuring it out, right? There's a lot of physicists that believe there's about 11 dimensions, and they have the math, to associate with that. But
11 dimensions.
Yeah.
So there's 3 that we deal with.
Yeah, there's a 3-dimensional, and then fourth for time is our 4th dimension, right?
So I guess 4 we do deal with. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But, you know, that fourth dimension is based on perspective, right? It's based on the observer because time doesn't affect everybody the same way.
Sure.
Which is interesting. A lot of our physics, a lot of our math, when we're talking about, especially when we're talking about the UAP topic, we're using time as a constant. But it is not a constant. And even Einstein's theory of relativity, like it uses time as a constant, right? But we know that it's based on the observer. It's based on relativity. It's based on how fast you're going or where, you know, your conditions.
Relativity, It's based off relativity. Even like, you don't have to be a time traveler. Like just like this adage, I forget what they use it for specifically. I think it's just like perspective. But if I'm on a hill and I see a car coming at you and you're riding your bike, I don't have an omnipresence or anything. I just have a perspective that you don't.
Right.
So from, you know, where I'm seeing,
if you were in the fifth dimension, you would have a different perspective. You'd be able to see all of these dimensions at once. And if time is one of those dimensions, you could see
the car hitting you. You could see me warning you and the car not hitting you. You could see maybe multiple outcomes. Perhaps.
But I think that's how time manipulation works. And I know that in order to traverse the cosmos, you'd have to be able to play with time. A lot of these whistleblowers from these like legacy UFO programs or the reverse engineering programs, they say that they have to manipulate space-time in order to use these craft. These things that go 3,000 Gs that would turn any person or organic species into just slush. Like there's no way. And I've seen UFO videos, very clear, credible UFO videos where you see a craft going this way and then it just goes this way. No. Craft that go and they're going hypersonic, which means like 5 times the speed of sound. Even if you're going that fast and you go and you want to make a turn, did you know it takes a hypersonic vehicle about half the size? That's I've heard someone from the Air Force, I think, say it takes about half the size of Ohio to make a turn in a craft going hypersonic speeds. These go 180.
Doesn't make sense.
They just go up.
Even you know what? It sort of has bothered me too. In Avengers, the first one. When he gets thrown out of the window. First of all, how is he fine going through like that thick ass glass? If it's in a Stark Tower, you'd assume the glass is pretty thick. And he gets thrown through it by Loki and he's fine. Anyway, that's not my problem with it. My problem with it is he's falling down and the suit grabs him. As soon as he goes and puts the thrusters, because his organs are still moving. At whatever speed he's falling. So him to stop, his organs would fly through his body.
There's inertia there.
That's it, baby. You're done. Hey, RDJ.
His suit is interesting, though. Like the way that, I mean, there are, so.
Even if he did it gradually, it would make more sense.
So it would have to be.
Slow himself down.
It would have to be something like that where as he's falling, the suit kind of ridges up in certain areas, but allows for certain parts of the suit to be more pliable so that he's not taking the full brunt of it as he's falling, right?
Metal,
So maybe these thrusters turn on and the legs become rigid, but the rest is pliable, so he's able to absorb some of that inertia before he goes back up.
But they don't show any of that.
No, I'm just saying. When he goes hypersonic, his head's up in a certain way and his body's straight and flat. The suit is becoming rigid so that he can make a hypersonic or a supersonic jump to go like break the sound barrier. So you could tell that there is this rigidity thing where the suit puts itself in a certain configuration to allow for him to do these hypersonic or supersonic moves. So obviously. But then when he has control of the suit and he's able to move, and that's when he's going slower or hovering, and so there's no rigidity there. But it's interesting how those suits work. How fast is he going? Just gravity. And
he's
for
falling
how long?
out of the Empire State Building.
We
for
can
all
handle
intents and purposes.
up to like 9 Gs before you have like blackouts, right? So did he reach up to 9 Gs of force before he
forget blackouts
stopped?
Probably
not.
We're people can handle that while they're flying until they pass out. We're talking about being stopped midair while you're falling. You're everything would fly out of you.
It'd be
Your
painful,
organs
but
are still
we have
going
like
100 miles an hour or
F-16s that are going a few hundred miles per
and then
hour,
stop
and then
dead?
pull these pull these turns where they kind of stop and go up. Like it's a really cool.
But no, they
cool
keep
move. But they're only going
they
a
move
couple
at an
hundred
angle.
miles an hour.
Yeah,
they're not going.
that makes sense to me.
Hypersonic.
Yeah.
So just you're falling at what 50 floors maybe. If you did the math,
It's
it might
basically
be
flying into
survivable.
a brick wall.
Yeah, it would hurt, and it would be very uncomfortable, and the suit would have to, and it probably would adjust in certain ways to
kill
help absorb some.
He
of
should
that.
have been dead.
I don't think so.
But and then even him being thrown out of the window, he should be at the very least
that's painful for
destroyed.
sure. Yeah. Or knocked out,
bones crushed.
But yeah, I mean, come on,
it's
superhero
fine.
movie.
Superheroes.
But there's
they're
ways I
realistic.
think he could survive something like that.
Maybe.
It's like when you jump off a building and they have those big pads for you that
But yeah,
give you
they
some
have give. Yeah.
So yeah, how much give did he have, and how
None.
much did the suit protect
It went,
him?
and then whoosh, he stopped and flew up. Anyway,
I don't think it was
neither
a
here nor
dead stop, but yeah, it is a little bit suspending disbelief or something like that.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
I was just saying that's something that always bothered me.
spirit boards, I don't mess with them. I think it's a silly idea because whatever you are contacting, it seems to go wrong most of the time. So we talked about early in the episode, the history of these things. They've been around forever.
For a long time.
So people have always had this idea that they could speak to some other intelligence, whether it be angels or what they considered to be divine beings, the gods themselves, or try to reach out to loved ones in Valhalla or whatever their time period you're in. Ancient Greece, maybe they're trying to talk to their Socrates. Whatever. There's always been the fascination with trying to reach out to these other realms and intelligences.
I have a video of
I don't like it.
of a Ouija board experience gone wrong.
Yeah, you should show that.
So
I
real
don't
quick,
like
have
it.
you ever Ouija'd?
No. I'm like I said, I won't mess with those things. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it.
Bro, I don't even know. I don't really think I even believe in ghosts, colloquially as we know them today, or
There's something.
I believe in energy.
There's
of
a lot
course.
of
I believe
evidence.
in the potential for extra dimensional beings.
Right.
I don't necessarily believe in quote unquote ghosts as we know them. Right.
Well, there's got to be some sort of positive and negative forces. There's too many credible witnesses of incredible things like the Men in Black or the Hat Man.
The Hat Man doesn't make sense. People who have never heard of it also see it.
Right.
And it's usually the same story. It's
And they
one
get the
shorter
feeling.
guy in a hat and two larger men next to him. That's 90% of the time. Some see him solo, but a guy in a hat, like a fedora type hat. And a lot of people see this. And not just to that, to the point of your own experience.
Yeah.
You smelling the smoke of a place that burned, you had no idea the place burned.
Right. Those are
And
like
you smelled smoke.
residual.
You did not move the control.
Yeah.
You know not to get up and inconvenience yourself and move a control.
It was
a
able to
remote
move without
control,
me noticing.
which is wild.
How's that work? How am I'm watching the TV? How does the remote get, unless for those moments I looked away?
Did it have to be picked up and moved, or could a ghost teleport it with them? Or
Right.
something?
I think that there's
Is that like sort of what you're asking?
so even with the sounds, sometimes I hear, right? Like the knocking.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it. And then my son will knock on the wall. And I'm like, that's exactly what it sounded like. Now, am I hearing him knocking right now? 2 days ago. Somehow. That this event that is eventually going to happen, and now me mentioning it is the cause of it happening.
You saying time is not linear.
Exactly. That somehow it's happening now, because just like a ghost of a person that used to live in a house, and you see the picture of the person, and that's her, right? Are you seeing her in the time where she was there for that moment?
Or sort of like what you were saying a moment ago. What if you see somebody cross your bedroom door?
Yeah.
And you're like, what if that was you 3 nights ago?
I think that all the time. When Jess called me from the other room.
But what causes that?
Did she call me from the other room a week ago, and now I'm hearing it again, like an echo through time? Or is she going to call me in a couple days from that same spot?
Why couldn't there be an echo through time?
There is no
Is there
reason it
science
couldn't.
that says it's impossible? I don't think
No,
there is.
there's more science to support things like this.
Yeah.
Like the way that photons are connected across
quantum entanglement.
impossible distances, unlimited distances.
Light years. Yeah.
Yeah, quantum entanglement, where you can have what affects this is affecting this, or when you do the double slit experiment, and it seems that they're going back in time to change what how we see them once they're being observed. No, there is evidence, physics evidence that shows things can be seen or heard at a different time in space, or maybe we could view.
But so what would I want to ask you this question, and then I want to hear your answer after I read this chat real quick. But what would cause events like that to occur? And then we'll watch this Ouija board video. So we got Felicity has entered the chat. What's up? We haven't seen her in a while.
What she just said,
her
I
and
hate that.
Michael Domino.
That happens to me constantly.
Hold on.
It's the most frustrating thing.
So Princess or Miss Michael Domino said,
No.
I do not mess with spirit boards, nor do I, Princess, nor do I. And then she said, I usually just go to a medium if I'm trying to communicate to someone on the other side.
There you go.
Which is a nice way to put it. And then Felicity said, or could it also be like the phantom phone vibrating in your pocket when you, when you don't have your phone with you. Yeah, so that happens to me
Constantly.
all the time.
It is, and you feel it. You know.
No, but it's so visceral and it's
Yeah.
so real that it's like there's no way. So I keep my phone, probably not the best idea, but I keep my phone when I'm at home in bed next to my head, next to the pillow. Probably gonna get cancer or whatever. That's fine. Moving on. It's always there. Sometimes it'll vibrate and I'll go to reach for it and I'm realize I'm on my phone, or it's it's over here.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, wait, but I felt it.
Exactly.
Unless, and I don't anymore, but I would search for, I'm like, oh, is there something over here that moved?
Yeah,
that
I
vibrated?
think that all the time.
Because it was so real that something must have happened. That's so funny, Felicity. Good job bringing that up, because that's so crazy.
Yeah. So are you feeling the phone that
how do
had
you
rang
reconcile that
2
stuff?
days
Yeah,
ago, or are you feeling the phone that's going to ring in your pocket?
Or is it just
an hour from now?
I also heard that that phantom phone thing. It's what is the term? It's like shows high brain function basically, because it means your like awareness and is very acute and you're like on top of it. Like so like you're anticipating it just because you're highly aware. You're
maybe
high brain
I know.
function.
What about the sixth sense so people have, like with predators?
Sure.
There's that, or you're thinking about a person that you haven't seen in a while. They call you, right?
Yeah.
Like within that moment of thought.
Or you hear a song you haven't heard in forever, and then you see it in the movie that night. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens all the time.
This song's 30 years old, and nobody even knows about this song except this one movie.
I've had it where I've been singing a song for days, and it shows up in a new movie that just comes out, right? I'm like,
yeah.
So why was I singing this song that's now that's prominently shown in this film? I've been singing it for the last 3 days.
But maybe
why is
it's
that
just
happening?
because out of all the billions of possibilities that the universe can provide, maybe there's you're thinking of a song and then it happens to show up in a trailer or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe
but
it's happened. Maybe it's just
you take all of these coincidences that a single person has that's experiencing.
Yeah,
you can't just the idea that it's always a coincidence, or we do have some sort of antenna that's picking up on certain things.
Sure.
And again, time is
not
relative
linear.
and based on the observer.
Yeah.
Maybe you are able to pick up on something that's everyone can remote view. What's that, right? Yeah. Everyone can learn how to remote view. Anyone in the programs will tell you it can be taught. Russia proved it.
They taught
CIA
housewives.
Proved it. Yeah. Anyone can learn this skill. How are they able to see distant places at different times that they're not alive in?
Yeah.
And be accurate. Is sometimes so accurate in predicting the future. They've stopped terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
So if we have this ability within us so who's to say that in those moments where we're kind of just lost in thought, or where we're tapped into this Akashic or the ether, that we're not feeling the phone ringing 2 hours from now.
Yeah.
Right in that moment.
Or we heard the song in the trailer 2 days from now.
Yeah.
And so we're singing it now.
Yeah, or the baby crying in the tunnel,
or your kid playing with the hammer.
I'm playing. Yeah, he was playing with the hammer, or he's going to.
And maybe you don't even have to be there for that event.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing it right now.
Exactly.
Whatever. Who knows?
I think that all the time.
And then Domino said,
echo.
Yeah, an echo in time. Mm-hmm. You would probably sleep better if you slept with your phone away from your head. Yes, but I have. I realized I had crippling OCD. I didn't know that for my whole life.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say crippling, but I have.
I was gonna say,
I have. It's intense, yeah. But no, I do have pretty wicked OCD. And one of those things is I have a fear that I'm going to get a phone call and it's going to be about somebody I love being in danger or something like that.
That sounds more
thing.
traumatic. Like a traumatic incident happened in your life, and so it's...
Well, that's a piece of the giant puzzle that is my OCD. Because when that happens or that thought occurs...
Yeah.
The steps I have to do. I have to find wood. I have to take my right middle knuckle and knock 3 times. Then I have to put both my hands into like a fingers crossed and clap them 3 times. And then throw my hands in the air and whistle.
Yeah.
Or else someone in my family will be injured or harmed. Yeah, it's insanity. When I step on a crack,
just an OCD ritual.
I have to
You're
say
not
what
the only
part.
one.
I have to say what part of my foot stepped on the crack. Right toe, left heel. And then if I go right toe, left heel, then I gotta try and make it so it's left toe, right heel next.
Yeah,
it's insanity.
That comes, dude. A lot of the stuff comes from trauma, and there's this theory that people who, whenever they encounter extreme trauma, especially when they're young, they stop aging from that point. Yeah. In a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, like emotionally. And, I could totally see that.
They stop. There's a lot of things that happen where they can't move on. Emotion,
it's a
maybe
vicious
in an emotional way,
cycle.
but in a lot of mental ways, you're not able to grow or mature past that until you're able to confront it and
get
fix
over
it.
Yeah.
You need to talk to somebody. You need professional help getting through this trauma to move forward.
Yeah.
And that's I think that there's a lot of truth in that.
And you know what? I went through this NLP session and I actually learned that something in my life was way more traumatic than I ever gave it credit for. It was actually something that I didn't think really affected me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the person that was doing the NLP said, think of the most like this thing you can think of that, really where somebody really messed you up or, it was, I think of someone like you can't forgive or something you've never forgiven.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that popped in my head, this particular event.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? That's it? And that was it. But, and then, so we go through it until I forgive those people or whatever it is. It's actually really cool because during those NLP sessions, I don't even have to say what the event is or who the people concerned are.
Yeah.
I
you just think of it.
Think of it.
Yeah.
And then they give me prompts saying, okay, so are you there? They tell you, like, look at your life as a timeline and zoom out. It's very cool, very interesting. NLP.
Yeah, there's
just
some cool stuff there.
Dude, there's so much cool stuff. But Felicity said, yes, tapping into the collective and collective conscious. And then Domino said, that's very true, Jared. My ex's mom that I took care of for 8 years was stuck at the age 23 mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
That's when she had a stroke and an aneurysm. Ooh.
It's hard to move on from trauma like that. And it obviously affects the brain. And we know that there are ways, and we talked about it in the news segment last episode. There are certain things that help reset the brain and help you move past, like PTSD.
Yeah. Psilocybin, baby, let's all do shrooms.
Ibogaine was the one we talked about that
Ibogaine,
helped
dude.
PTSD. And
like you said, if it wasn't illegal, forget narcotics, there'd be an Ibogaine
everywhere. Treatment center on every corner, just like there's a quick care.
That's what you said, exactly.
Every quick care would
like
have an
there's a quick
Ibogaine section. Yeah.
It's so funny. They're so quick to prescribe you this oldest shit that you've never heard of, that you have no
Poisons,
idea what's in it. Yeah. That if you stop taking it, your body rejects and it loses its, like this is crazy.
You know what this stuff makes me think of all the time? And I say it. So like, whenever they release like those flash warnings on your phone, like, don't buy this brand of eggs because it's causing this.
Yeah.
Or why is there a rise in childhood obesity or this kind of issue, these mental issues with all these children at these percentages higher than ever before. Yeah. And I call them Joker products. if you remember from the Michael Keaton
Batman
movie,
89.
it was when he releases these products, he's talking about Joker products with a new ingredient, Smiley. Yeah. And I think of these executives of these, big corporations that are putting out these products where they're adding these things that they know are poisonous or harmful to the body that they can't sell in other countries. We're the only country that allows them to sell them or put them in the products here. And they're putting this stuff, and it's not, and just like Batman says, it's not just shampoo, but shampoo with lipstick mixed with conditioner and this food product. That's the combination that can cause this. And he gives it to the reporter. It was never one thing. It was the combination of this, with that is what, so I call them Joker products. Like we have Joker products. There are all these things that in the right combinations are causing major health problems to Americans. Sure. And we're the country that has the biggest problem with this. And
then we'll get back to the spooky and scary.
Yeah.
But how could this stuff not be tied to mental health? And
it is. It's proven. There's a lot of science on it. They want to look more into it, but there's for some reason a big fight. It's been politicized, which makes it harder.
Yeah, that sucks. Everything's politicized
because
nowadays.
There's so much money in these companies.
Dude, think about big pharma. Yeah. Think about that. It's $1 trillion industry, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, they have the money to say, hey, this is really not that bad. But you being elected is important.
Somebody came in from another country with a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I think the label was this big. The entire carton was covered in warnings.
Yeah.
The entire thing. Dude.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are cigarettes? It said caution. It had graphic pictures and everything, dude.
Yeah.
Skull and crossbones, the whole thing. It was it's saying, you will die probably if you do this enough.
Yeah, there's a over 20% recall rate on all FDA approved items.
Dude, the FDA is such a joke.
So think about that.
The FDA is such a joke.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
But everyone's been talking about the cereal thing, like how the dyes used in Lucky Charms here don't exist in the Lucky Charms in Canada.
Funny.
Because those are illegal.
Yeah.
Those certain...
Because they're poison.
But they're extremely poisonous and
So anyway...
Joker
Talk
products.
About Joker products is a good.
And I picture him dancing with the money. I'm giving away free money.
Dude, it's legit.
That's what it is.
Right?
They're all the Joker with these purple suits throwing money around.
That's it. Speaking of, I heard Joker Folly Do is horrible.
Yeah,
it's getting raked.
Like I said, it looked like a movie that'd be hard to go through mentally. It looks like a mental mess.
I heard it wasn't even that. I heard it's just jumbled and just not well done. But dude, speaking of jumbled, not well done, imagine if you were dealing with a Ouija board and this happened, baby!
Another legend says that 3 boys took their own lives by hanging themselves from that very same Sweet Hollow Bridge. So it goes without saying that Sweet Hollow Road and the cemetery are said to be extremely haunted.
Let's go!
Brian is on a Discord call with his friends, who you'll hear in the background. And he is streaming live as he decides to do a Ouija board session just outside the gate of the Melville Cemetery.
They're always after chasing Lucky Charms.
To go wrong.
Mistake.
And what happens next
Everything about this
is
bad.
Truly terrifying.
Just chilling, posted up. What's up, dude?
Yo, that's moving. Yo, oh my God, we're cooked.
Why is it going to no?
Who's moving the camera, bro?
It said no.
Be like, yo, the camera's moving. Yo, bro, the camera's moving.
Oh, that's funny.
Bro,
He's alone.
Leaving,
I didn't realize that.
Yo, I'm leaving. Was it you that moved the camera?
It's starting to slide over to yes.
Bro.
Yeah.
Car alarm goes off.
Creepy.
I don't know what he's saying. I'm gay. And the camera falls over.
Bro.
Understandably,
but dude,
Brian is a little freaked out.
This ain't shit. Just wait. It gets crazy.
His live stream.
Are there any spirits here that would like to talk to me?
Yes. that was me. Again.
Bro, I didn't even ask.
His keys are on the floor.
Again.
Yeah, you see the Teslas when they go to cemeteries that picks up all the people, but there's no one there.
Oh, yeah.
Was that you that just turned on the alarm? Yes.
Yo, fam. That's a yikes for me.
That's Michael Myers.
Dude, yeah,
Trying to
draws
draw
you
you
out to the
out,
car. That would be, that's like some Scream shit or Michael Myers. Don't they do that in Scream?
They do it. I know
It's
Halloween.
happened in
Michael
the
Myers
movies.
does it all the time.
Is it Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Okay. But so he goes to the car, he forgets to bring his
But
keys.
then when you get to the car, there's like a man-made, what's it called? The pumpkins with the flashlights in them.
Jack-o'-lantern?
But yeah, there's a man-made jack-o'-lantern in the car, and you're like, whoa!
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
comes up behind you.
To go and say
Yeah.
goodbye.
He does so
using
much
Ouija
work
board.
setting up.
So they
all
tell
this-
him, come back, you got to say goodbye. What you're doing with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
blah, blah.
See, in the paranormal community, not signing off by saying goodbye at the end of a session is considered to be a horrible mistake and is said to invite the contacted spirit to remain attached to the Ouija board user.
Cool.
So Brian goes back, and this is when
Check
goes
Shit
sideways.
out.
As if it's not already a little.
No,
too
exactly.
much.
As if it's not crazy enough. Check it out, brother.
Bro.
It's sliding under the gate.
Oh, it's just moving.
It slid under the
It was like
gate.
trying to stop him from saying goodbye.
Yeah.
He knows his intent.
Oh my
And guess what? That's not it.
Probably
Still
not the
gets
best thing to say
crazier.
either.
Yeah. So he takes off. They're like, bro, you got to go back
Yeah.
and say goodbye.
Yeah, you
or
gotta
else spirits are
close
going
the
to haunt
door.
you. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like something like that matters.
I
Just
know.
like saying a
Right
prayer
into
while
Melville
exorcisms.
Cemetery.
Dude, there's a video where somebody's dealing with all this stuff. I might not even show it actually. And they say, since he was like 7 years old, they
Yeah.
say he's been dealing with paranormal craziness.
Yeah.
And he has like filmed something on his iPad Touch.
Yeah.
iPod Touch. Thank you, iPod. Thank myself. Old school. Films it on his
Yeah.
iPod Touch, dealing with his whole life. And then there's this video he films recently of a picture, like flying on the wall, like stuck to the screw, but like trying to fly off the wall. And then his grandma goes and sages the house, and it's fine.
Yeah.
What does sage do? What does it make? How does
Strange,
that repel
right?
ghosts?
It just might be the intent.
They don't like the smell. Like what's going on?
I think the intent behind it matters.
So Chase said RFK, Make America Healthy Again.
Yeah, that's the healthcare movement.
Yeah,
I've heard
and then
of that.
he said those darn Lucky Charms dies.
Yeah, that's messed up, dude.
That is.
Come on. This is your country.
Put it in our
your
cereal.
people. Yeah.
And General Mills, isn't that an American freaking company?
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, bro. You're
Yeah.
gonna kill us. And then wow, that's creepy. Princess said people that use these need to light sage.
Yeah.
And white candles before they do.
Yeah, it's dude,
white
there's power
candles.
in words, there's power in symbols,
Absolutely.
there's power in these things. Why does a salt circle matter? Like, what?
I know.
But I've talked about in other
Hocus
episodes, the Pope doing spells from an ancient spell book.
That's
and to
nuts.
control demons.
Yeah.
But it's well recorded.
A pope,
actual
tried
history.
to control a demon.
Yeah, he was trying to control. He was doing spells, blood magic in the Vatican with these
insane.
ancient
Yeah.
whatever I can't remember the
Texts,
grimoires
yeah.
is what they're
Oh
called.
yeah, that's right.
With these
and then
grimoires.
Princess said you have to make sure to open windows when you say because that's how the demons leave or whatever, right? The
Right.
Spirits.
Why?
Why? How?
Yeah.
They can walk through walls, but
you can't see
you
them
need
without
an open
infrared,
window.
You
Fucking-
need certain. Yeah.
Like what's going on here?
I
But check this
don't
out, dude.
know.
It gets
But after
crazy.
everything that has happened, he again begins to worry that he didn't say goodbye after using the Ouija
So he's like,
board.
"Yo, I'm gonna jump the fence.
Go jump the fence. Say goodbye.
Check it out.
There's a fire?
There's a fire.
Get out of there, run. Yo, get
There's
out
a
there,
fire
run.
up there
Bro. What is
in
burning
the
though?
cemetery. There's a
A
fire
fire
now.
can be seen burning on the road inside the cemetery. Even though his friends advise him to just leave, Brian once again feels that he should definitely try to retrieve that board
Yeah.
to say goodbye.
It's a good idea.
You didn't see it?
No. So you had
So now the fire's out.
No, I wasn't on my phone. I was looking at oh shit. Look,
Bro.
the fire.
So our boy hops the fence.
No, it's not.
He goes over. Peep this, my boy. What was on fire, man?
Bro, I see it. I see it.
What was burning, Jay?
Yeah.
It was the board.
The fucking Ouija board, dude.
No way.
It's the board
The
of the
fucking Ouija
planchette.
board.
No, with the planchette.
Bro. I would.
See? You don't mess with this stuff.
No!
You don't know who picks up the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're picking up the phone and dialing a random number.
The board is fine. Oh, sorry, I don't know the board.
Candy
That was the board. That was the fucking board.
So do I just say goodbye?
You got the picture bird.
Yeah. I just watched that movie.
No, that's funny.
So good.
I did.
Did you know that what's that nerd who directed Star Wars and Star Trek? J.D. Williams. What's his name?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
He's the best.
He wrote Joyride.
Oh, cool.
Isn't
That's
that
a
funny?
good one.
It's a great one. It's a classic, boy.
It's a lasting horror flick. Good horror, dude. The new
Paul
Halloweens
Walker,
are so good.
Steve Zahn.
The ones that pretend like none of the other ones happen.
Yeah, exactly.
They just pick
The
up
non-canonical.
from the first, two.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like a love letter to those two because they mirror each other. When
That's cool.
he knocks her off the balcony and he turns because he hears a noise, Michael does. And when he turns back, she's gone.
Dope.
And the music plays.
fun.
And because now she's the hunter. It's just so good.
That's sort of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because she's
I haven't
hunting
seen
him.
any. So I saw the first and some of the second.
Yeah, the second's cool because
No,
they
no,
brought
no,
the entire old cast back.
Of the Rob Zombie ones.
Oh yeah, those are their own thing.
They're their own thing.
Yeah.
And then I haven't seen. Oh, I saw the one where
Dude, they're Blumhouse.
Lori came back. Whatever. What's her name?
The new Blumhouse ones. Those are the ones that take
Yeah,
place
I
from the
saw-
first.
Yeah.
It takes
so
right- yeah.
in my head, H2O was the finale. Halloween 20
back
years
in the
later,
day. yes.
H2O.
Yeah.
That in my head,
That was
still that was the
supposed
finale.
back then.
They cut his head off.
Right,
You know,
right,
he was human. He was a human being.
Yeah.
You don't come back from that.
Yeah. But then they still made more movies after that.
I know.
Lori dies actually in one of them. But Blumhouse says none of those happened. Let's just take from the first two movies.
Yeah.
40 years have gone by.
Okay.
And this is what's happened now.
Okay.
This is where we're at.
So Season of the Witch, none of
None of that happened. None
All
of
that.
It's all
So
nonsense.
just the first movie's
The
canonical.
first two, where she goes to the
Oh.
hospital, because
Yeah,
all of
that
that
one's not
is
that good,
mirrored again. It's
and that's where
really
he gets
cool.
blown up in the fire.
Right.
Like,
But he doesn't die in the fire. He goes back to his house, according to the Blumhouse ones.
Yeah.
After he gets out of the fire, it was never about Lori. It was
So
about
it picks up where
going
the
home.
second one left off.
It picks up 40 years
Where the
from
second one-
But it has
Oh, got
flashbacks
it.
to those
Dope.
first
Oh,
two
cool,
movies,
cool, cool.
and all the actors
Do they
from the
de-age
original.
her? Do they de-age Jamie Lee?
No, you don't see her, but you see. So all of the actors
Do
from
you
the
see
first
Donald
movies,
Pleasance?
Yeah, he is in both. Right? No, he's only in the second one.
Okay.
Of course, he comes back because there's
Sick.
this scene where they show him get arrested, they take him down, and then he gets brought back to a mental institution where he stays for 40 years and never has says a word. Right? And during those 40 years, what's her name? Laurie Strode has turned into a prepper who's been hoping he escapes because she wants to get him.
Oh, she wants to kill him.
And 40 years later, he gets out and he's back on the hunt on Halloween night. And she's been waiting her whole life for this chance to get him.
Sick bastard.
So she set up a whole trap room in her house, all these different things, guns everywhere. She's been practicing her whole life. She's raised her daughter around this whole.
So she's like ready.
She's ready.
a
She
gangster.
thinks. And
Yeah, it's Michael Myers.
And Michael's back, and he starts doing what he did 40 years ago, and he's got his original mask because they had it, they brought it to him. These podcasters who are doing an episode about the Myers case, and they bring the mask to him, and he doesn't even look at
to
it.
him?
They go to the hospital, and they say, Michael, it's been 40
he's
years.
in the hospital.
Yeah. It's been 40 years, Michael. He's not even looking at him. He's facing the other way, silent,
Yeah,
7 feet tall.
Yeah.
What monster of a man.
Oh, they followed like the
So it's just
Rob Zombie
only the
type
first two happened.
where he's giant.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Because he was a normal sized guy in the first.
He's still a
couple
big,
movies.
pretty big dude. But remember
Rob
he's
Zombie once he
like
was a fucking massive
20.
giant. So they followed that, which I like. I liked him being
like
a giant motherfucker.
Yeah.
I liked it.
But remember, even back then in the first 2 movies, he's impossibly strong. He can take bullets.
Oh, yeah.
But
he wasn't a big mother trucker.
He's not big. He's tall and skinny.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's so impossibly strong.
Yeah.
And these podcasters show up. They want to interview him.
The Rob Zombie ones did portray his strength well. By the way. But go on.
But he never spoke a word for 40 years. And the guy gets the mask from the DA's, Attorney General's office, and he has it with him. And these podcasters, and they pull out the mask, and he like kind of just turns to the side. Like he goes, "You can feel it, can't you, Michael? Say something, Michael. Say something."
Hi guys.
And that's how the movie starts. And then it's the dun, 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 and it's
Sick.
and then it's just the original text, the original pumpkin,
old school
lit
looking,
up, and it's zooming in, and it picks up right from those first 2, dude.
Love it.
It's so good. 40 years later, and there's 3 of them. There's 3 sequels. There's 2 sequels to this 40 years later, and they're all good.
40 years later.
You got to watch them. Spirit boards are a mess. I would never mess with those.
So Franco TV. Have you ever heard of Franco TV? We played him actually. I think last Sleep Month we might have played him, but I know we've talked about him before. Did you have something you wanted to get to?
Does he do scary? No, we're good. Scary movies or scary videos?
So this motherfucker goes to the scariest places in the world.
Yeah.
And alone and films himself. He's insane.
Yeah, alone. That's stupid. I think that's insane.
It sort of is crazy.
What the fuck is that? Hold on.
So he obviously experiences the craziest shit ever.
Yeah, and all this technology we have now, like
what he's using right now is that's for the Xboxes.
Yeah, the infrared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
And what this thing's programmed to do is pick up people.
Just people, human beings. Distinguish human beings from everything else.
So that you can play.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
It stopped right when I said it.
And this thing's jumping around.
That beeping is also eerie. Even though that's part of his equipment.
¿Quién es?
He's speaking Spanish.
There he goes again. Whatever it was that was outside came back.
It was like howling or something.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Ugh. Okay, hold on. But wait, there's more. It's like right here. Oh shit! Yeah, here it is. I didn't even have to skip ahead.
Aaron, are you okay with me leaving this year?
I have to ask my ghost for permission.
Asylum.
What'd you say?
He's asking permission to his ghost if he can leave.
What about an asylum?
Nope.
Sucks.
This place has nothing to do with an asylum.
Check it. Look.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off. Her.
Heard.
I'm gonna go.
What, do they work
turn
in a
off the
kitchen?
candle.
Heard. Bro. Shit just swings open.
Holy
It's
shit.
a lot.
I just had a door closed on me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the candle.
Turn off the candle. Second he blows out the candle. For some reason, that cupboard
I just had a door
opens.
closed on me.
And then the REM pod or whatever they're called pops off.
Yeah, so what is this?
I know.
It's obviously things we can't see that are there. Probably here.
Peep this.
Probably in your house.
Yeah.
Seriously, at
Yeah,
home. You're
peep this.
watching this.
He's at a cemetery. Always a good idea. Look at this.
But they're shaped like human.
Look at this. You see that?
What the hell was that?
Brightened up, look.
Yeah.
Fucking shadow person just walking through like nothing happened, bud.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a big shadow.
Dude, you want to hear something creepy as hell? Talk about the scariest sound ever? Right here, my boy. This whole part is crazy, but right here.
Thing is, on the maps, this area is blocked off. So once you walk back here, there's nowhere else you can go. Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just messing with him. Joker product.
Yeah.
It's his little thing in his pocket.
Yeah.
¿Por qué tú estás riendo? ¿Tú es riendo o llorando?
Yeah.
Espalda de sus amigos, 8 de agosto, December 1887.
There's a bunch.
Where else you
of
can
the laughter.
¿Es aquí?
Towards this wall.
Like, what is that horrific thing?
Hello?
Wild. Yeah.
That's a trip. That's weird.
¿Alguien estás aquí?
It's very bizarre.
That's the train. What the hell did I just hear? It sounded like somebody laughing.
Is that the creepiest shit?
Yeah. It's absurd.
Thing is, on the maps, this area is blocked off. So once you walk back here,
All right, what about
there's
this
nowhere else
last
you can go.
couple?
Listen.
Yeah.
Hello?
It's fucking.
I want like Slappy to, or what's his name that with the little tricycle come out?
Oh, Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Georgina? ¿Por qué tú?
Play a game. You've been hunting for ghosts your whole life.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to turn you
Now
into
you
one.
are haunted. Yeah. Now I'm going to turn
next
you
video,
into
a father is home alone with his son when the toddler seems to spot something truly bizarre.
Princess said the scariest sound to me was on the Skinwalker Ranch episode where the guys went into the first forest, maybe, to find their friends, and there was like yelping and talking in different language. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. What?
Oof.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Mama, your mom isn't there. There's no one there.
Yeah, I hate when my son does stuff like this.
Are you seeing ghosts? Yes.
In another creepy video
He does
posted
that
by
all
Kurt
the time. He'll
Harris,
point
his
and be
family
like,
is
right
visiting
there.
his grandmother in Chicago when his little
She's
cousin
right
Daisy
there.
says
I
something
hate
He's
it.
pointing at nothing. I'm like,
chilling.
what does she look like? And then he'll like say,
That's the man who comes to see me at night.
yes. Come on.
She's like, what man? She
man?
points to a picture on the wall.
Up here? Uh-huh.
He did.
Little Daisy claims that the relative in an older photo on the wall visits her at night.
But the
Now, the
problem
only
is,
problem with that is, well,
he did.
he did.
Dude, Nuke's the best.
Yeah, he's great.
He did.
In
And he,
fact,
like, sort of
the man in
stops
the photo
himself.
Passed
Yeah.
away in
He did.
2005, over 14 years before little Daisy was even born. She has never even met the man.
Oh, dude,
Or
this one?
Visits
You want to
me
hear
at
the
night.
clearest?
Stop
You want to
it.
hear the clearest EVP ever?
Sure.
Dude, this is, and it's just like horrifying what it actually like is.
My name's Becky.
With the good hair. This woman is out on a patio, so she's staying at like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Or it's a hotel. I'm sorry. She's staying at a hotel. She's sitting on the patio having her coffee before her daughter
Yeah.
wakes up, and she hears something. She hears singing. It's very subtle, but
I hear it though.
it's going to be boosted in a moment, and you'll hear exactly
Angelina
what this thing is
shocked
singing.
and also a bit excited when she hears the voice of a woman singing from the balcony right next to her, because there's no one over there.
He did.
Angelina says that she was a bit creeped out by the experience, but she is also grateful to have captured what she believes is the voice of a spirit.
Old timey.
Yeah. Tiptoe through the window. It's kind of that.
Knock, knock.
Dude, straight up, right?
Yeah.
Late one night, a group of friends decide to film themselves taking a spooky dare at a local school that
this
is
is
said
fun.
to be haunted. The story goes that if you go around to the back of the school,
What is that from?
Insidious.
Yes. You know what I was thinking of is classic, one of the greatest trailers of all time.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Oh, that's
No, that's
on fire.
Yeah. So good.
That's perfect for that.
That's the greatest
game.
trailer. It's the greatest trailer.
It
One of the
is.
greatest trailers
What a
ever.
good game.
Yeah, one of the greatest trailers ever. Check this out. So there's this myth. If you knock on this door, a spooky dare, yes indeed. If you knock on this door at the school, on the nurse's office, it knocks back.
Just knock on it. Knock.
Just do it. Just fucking do it. They did it.
Get out of here.
Knock harder. Let them know. Let them.
Oh.
Yeah. They weren't
Some
expecting
loud
that
screams
shit.
sent the girls running in terror.
Let them.
Dude, that's so loud.
Now,
Dude,
unfortunately, the original
That's right there.
videos basically disappeared off the internet. So for now, whatever happened next,
they were murdered.
Remains a mystery. We need scary video.
Nobody ever saw them.
I saw a scary video where these girls hear help like that screaming from the forest.
Oh,
and
fun.
so they just, after a while, they're like, okay, well, let's get out of here. And then they do something smart. They call the police and they report it.
Smart.
The police get out there. It was a woman. Her husband collapsed. They
I
were
heard
on a
this.
hike.
Yep.
And he passed because nobody.
I saw that.
Nobody would pay attention.
She was. It was an actual human woman calling
they
for
could have
help.
saved him
and they
if they
didn't
would've
call.
called the
They
cops.
went home and told their mom, and the
they
mom called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they'd have called like right away, he probably would have been okay.
He might have lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it was like a biking accident or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it was actually a woman calling for help.
Yeah.
Didn't they film it? They filmed it because that's what I saw.
It's on film.
Yeah. They filmed like, ooh,
That's
can you
what
hear
I
that?
saw. It was like a
screaming from the
scary
forest?
video, but
oh, yeah,
then they
that's right,
turned
you
out
did
to
say
be
that.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, it was really something they needed help.
Creepy.
Like all those people that go lost in the woods. What about those people when they're looking for these lost people? They'll hear someone screaming help, but they can never locate the source.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Or it's in this direction and they keep going and it keeps getting further, or they go towards it, then it's behind them and
Right.
shit.
Yeah. That sucks.
Not cool.
Yeah. Is it real and they're just not finding them, or they're, you know what I mean? Or is it something else?
So if gun to your head,
Yeah.
they said, explain what ghosts are to the best of your ability, or I'm going to make you a ghost. What is a ghost?
I think based on the evidence that we have out there, it has something to do with reality. It has something to do with energy.
Okay.
It has something to do with the ether. It has something to do with like dimensional time space.
Sure.
There's got to be something real to it, right? And sometimes it's tangible, just like these UFOs. Sometimes the bullets go right through them.
Stop
Other
trying to bring
times they
everything
hit
back
them.
to aliens, bro.
I think they're related. I think these phenomenon are all explainable through the same sort of technology. There's this. There's these little gaps in space time, or these little rips in space time where things might be viewable or possible, like somehow through
discernible. For some reason,
why does it take night vision goggles to see some of these things? Why does it take like enhanced radar or sonar capabilities to see these things?
And why are there particular places that everybody sees something scary, dude?
Yeah.
Like there's a haunted hotel. You stay there. It's
definitely an energy.
You smell smoke.
Thing.
You see the control moves.
Yeah, it's manifesting physically somehow in this 3-4 dimensional space. But it's something that's outside of it. Like near-death experiences where you're outside of your body and you can see yourself and the doctor's working on you. And where are you? Where is your spirit or energy when that's happening? And is that place where you are temporarily, where some of these things never get to leave?
Yeah.
They're always in this in-between space.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps and they can't leave.
So I think
something there.
Something around those lines. Yeah, I think it's energy. I think the best possibility, in my opinion, is it's either echoes through time, sort of like what you were saying.
Yeah.
It's human beings, and they are like, it's something you may do in a week, or that you did do 2 months ago, or something.
Someone did 200 years ago.
Something, right?
Yeah.
I think, and I also think there's possibilities of something so profound, often in this case, probably profoundly horrible, happened, triple homicide, whatever. Something terrible happened, and it's ingrained in space-time, in this particular area, in this space, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter 200 years later, 20 minutes later, there's something there that will reverberate throughout the history and throughout time because it's so impactful that energy is sort of on a loop. It's on repeat. It's stuck. It's a broken record. Or I think they're extra dimensional beings and there's something that we'll never see.
I think it's a combination of all of these things. I really do. The men in black walking through walls.
Yeah.
There's something different. The Hat Man is not the same thing as the crying baby in the tunnel. The ghost of the woman that lived in a house 200 years ago is not the same phenomenon as the shadow person
as a skinwalker
jumping down from the window.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
They're different things, but they're things that are not that we're filtering out that are always there and they're everywhere.
Yes.
And it has something to do with the fabric of our reality. We just don't fully understand it. You know why? We don't study it. There's no money studying it. There's no real scientific look at this phenomenon. There's no resources being put towards this.
No,
it's guys with buying EVP meters and tape recorders and just going to these places. That's not enough. And none of it's repeatable for the most part.
Sure.
So in the scientific method, where putting everything through that same scientific method makes no sense when it comes to phenomenon.
Because you can't
do that.
No, you can't.
It's not the same.
You can't take the event and isolate it and introduce variables, and you can't
and recreate
treat it. You can't recreate it.
Yeah.
Like most science, you can have.
It requires a different mindset,
It's a whole
different way
set
of
of rules,
thinking,
baby. It's a whole set of rules. Is that all we got?
and it should be studied seriously.
At least for a time, let's put some money into this. Let's see what we got going.
Well, what do you think? So the UAP programs, these guys say there's a reason. If you knew what I knew, you wouldn't want disclosure either. There's something so terrifying about that phenomenon it's ingrained into something else.
It may be tied to other stuff. Yeah,
that's terrifying.
There's implications for sure.
Yeah, we know OSAP and Skinwalker. They dealt with all of that crap.
Yeah.
A-Tip. When they were doing the UFOs, they were getting orbs in their houses.
Q-Tip.
A bunch of them, right? Yeah.
Q-Tip's a brand name.
Yeah.
They're actually called cotton swabs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And relevant to the conversation.
Kleenex.
Yeah, exactly. Kleenex. I never called them Kleenex. I always say, hand me a tissue. I never say, hand me a Kleenex. And I don't
I don't either.
frankly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we got a bunch of scary stuff coming up. Today was fun. We're just sort of pining over what could ghosts be?
Yeah. What's contacting the
what
other side?
What does talking to the other side look like, sound like, feel like?
What evidence do we have? What are the tools that we're using, and do they make sense for the phenomenon? It seems to get some results.
From Jared.
Thank you. Live chat today. You guys, a lot of thoughts on this. Thank you.
Yep.
Comments, if you're watching this after the live show, tell us what you think. What are these things? What I want to know all your thoughts, all your ideas. What are we looking at here? What is this phenomenon? What's it tied to? Is it tied to science? Is it tied to religion? Is it tied to, are both one and the same?
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Like, subscribe, share the video. Helps us so much. Just pushing that button makes such a difference to this channel. Thank you. Help us grow it. Thank you for watching.
Absolutely, yeah. Takes you 2 seconds. If you're not already subscribed, do that right now. Thank you. And it's no sleep month, so you know what? More fitting.
Yeah.
But I don't like it for now. Guys, you're the best. We appreciate you. More spooks to come, more scares, more No Sleep Month. We have part 3 of season 2 of No Sleep Month coming up next Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
So get
Halloween,
ready.
Get scary.
Get scary. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, you think we're not ready, dude? Look at them spider webs, boy.
Too.
And a pumpkin. And ready? Boom, another skull right there. Bang. Check that out. Look what Jared got. Look. Move to the side. A pumpkin and a skull right on Grogu's head. That's how we do it. We don't care, bro. All right, guys, we love you. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week on that flippity flop. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay cool. And we'll talk to you later. Skater!
Yeah. This is
what?
This is the way.
Oh, yes, it is. The Mandalore.